these battles as quick as possible.
Well, eventually it will end because there'll be a best of 5 at some point.
True.
So you can't 2-0 with a best of 5, but it's been pretty dominant performances so far. I mean, this is the early stage of day number 2, so you had the entire last night to prepare, look at what your the opponent team is running, and try to find a strategy. And I've been really impressed with the early execution in these series. I mean, there was one matchup where Registeel was looking quite good. Maybe in that situation could have kept a switch advantage, but otherwise the execution has been amazing in this early on, and Gordon the Flash does move on. That will be it for Hot Pocket here today, but don't worry, he's already qualified. He's already secured his travel package as well.
Yeah, we'll see plenty of Hot Pocket in future tournaments to come, especially in Yokohama, Japan in August of next year. But yes, these other trainers are still fighting for their invitation to Worlds here in Toronto. One of the most stacked tournaments I feel like we've had to date.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the first iteration of this new meta. We spoke about it a lot yesterday because there was a move update 3 days ago now, last Thursday, where Wing Attack generates more energy, so knocked out has been prevalent. There's 5 knockdowns in the top 8 today. And you mentioned there's less Trevenant, because you're expecting so much knocked out. There's only 3 Trevenants in the top 8 here today, which usually you see on Trevenant on almost every single team here. The most common Pokemon is still the Medicham. The Medicham is the most common pick. 6 out of 8 of these trainers are bringing Medicham, and then 1 Toxicroak, which is pretty interesting. I think we're going to have the Toxicroak matchup next, and then Gordon the Flash, who we just saw, not running a fighter or a pseudo-fighting type, running the Shadow Kanto Ninetales to try to handle those steel types.
Yeah, the Kanto Ninetales, I don't think we've even seen today yet. We might have seen briefly on day 1, but choosing to opt to keep it on the bench for the other 2 Shadow Pokemon, I think that was definitely the right call from Gordon there too. So we'll definitely see more of that. But we have a head-to-head of the meta handlers coming up here. Both Jace Fan and Jay Brancy running very strong meta picks. And like a lot of people say, meta is meta for a reason.
Yeah, and actually 2 of our 3 Registeel users are up next. So a Pokemon that I know you expected to see a lot more of. I expected to see a lot more of it too, because it has that electric type coverage move that's just going to be so good against Noctowl, maybe against a Pelipper. No Pelipers in the top 8. There was a Pelipper in the top 8 of Stuttgart, so it did make some waves, and a Mantine actually won the entire thing. So that water flying type has been really good, but 2 of the 3 Registeel users, not a lot of the trainers made the shift from Galarian Stunfisk to Registeel, but still, Steel is the only type that's on every single team. Everyone brings Steel because of the strength of these flying types like Noctowl. There's 5 Galarian Stunfisk and 3 Registeels, and I think, unfortunately, one of these Registeel players are going to be eliminated.
Hello,
really
welcome
like
in,
Registeel
everybody.
has a chance to make it
We
far in day
are
number 2.
getting
Yeah,
ready
you talked
for
about
the
how you feel like Umbreon is
regionals little watch party that I wanted to throw. Right now I have it going on another screen here, so how does this look? I was trying to figure out like what's the best like layout for a watch party, because I really wanted to like showcase the I wanted to showcase more of the battles without sort of like me in the background, but I still wanted to be there to watch it. And I could adjust the volume levels of the broadcast if you guys would like, so just let me know. This is the first time that we're doing this. And then like in between, like while they're chatting, I'm just gonna do some of my GBL battles for the day. So let me know. I have a new device here called a Stream Deck, so I'm kind of like using it to adjust multiple different volume levels. So if there's an issue, let me know, and I could try to get that fixed for you. So I guess while they're preparing, let me just go ahead and get into a battle here really quick. Welcome in, Rondo. Welcome in, Smiley. Smiley, how are you feeling today, buddy? All right, so they have their next matchup, so we're gonna go ahead and watch that.
I think your tall boy Ampharos is a good example of that.
So we got J-Fan. Can you hear the commentary that they're saying, by the way?
running the Frostlass, Registeel, Swampert, Medicham, Lickitung, and Noctowl. One of the few Swamperts. I'm not sure if it's the only one, but I really haven't seen any Swamperts in this top 8.
Yeah, it's so interesting that we've seen a huge decline in Swampert because we've seen a decline in Trevenant and grass types. So you would think that Swampert's going to thrive a bit more, but maybe it's the extra energy generation from the wing attack Noctowls that makes it a little bit harder, and or maybe also players are anticipating.
Yeah,
Pelipper
that's good, man. Take some Tylenol.
Pelipper around, but Pelipper would have a
welcome
matchup
in, Ryan.
That Swampert, so you know maybe people adjust, but. Again, we have another
Hoosier, welcome in. BTW. I watched the Daxu match against Wadaj.
And Trevenant. And I believe this Alone Ninetales was running.
So I think Daxo's in losers right now.
Most, if not all, of the Alone Ninetales did switch from Charm to Powder Snow to have some more flexibility. The base power
so you have Jay
Charm
Brands.
did decrease from 16
it was
to 15, so it just means the charm damage is just a little bit less.
Yeah, Daxu's on the BTW faction, the main faction. So this regional had 4 of the members from the BTW team. They had Lyles Jeff, Miami Doc, Daxu, and Buckeye Fitzy. Were all present at regionals. I don't think Buckeye played. I only think Khaleesi did.
Is Galarian Stunfisk, Noctowl, Medicham, and Swampert's just okay against all of those, right? Especially the Shadow Swampert.
Did you guys watch a lot of day 1 at all?
Knock out the Noctowl, and then it beats Galarian Stunfisk.
Ooh, looks like we got King as the judge, King IV. Okay.
Game number 1, and there it is. There's the Swampert into the Noctowl.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised Jay Brancy has brought his own Swampert into this battle because
so this is going to be interesting how they had to adjust to the new wing attack buff.
A safe swap Frostlass into a Registeel. This is not what you want to see. If it's the Registeel, and we see Jay Brancy actually shielding this first Shadow Ball, maybe anticipating needing to shield later, would rather shield this first one before the Zap Cannon lands in for and gets a potential debuff.
You know, and it's not guaranteed anymore. It's 66% chance, but it doesn't have to happen as there is a no Protect Shield. Looks like Jace Fan is just happy to get the Protect Shield. Does it drop the attack? And it doesn't. It didn't drop the attack, so this next Shadow Ball is going to do as much as the first one would have done.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not the best at shoutcasting, but if you guys wanted me to talk during these battles, or if you just wanted to listen to the casters, let me know what your flavor is.
Another move. No is going to be throwing a Focus Blast first before this comes out. I still like to play from the shield from Jay Brancy because if you didn't shield Shadow Ball, you might be forced to shield Avalanches later, which is a little less energy.
Right, but this sets up Swampert to just mud shot this Registeel down. I think it will probably have to give up a Protect Shield to do so. Now, will Jay Brancy go for the Focus Blast or the
I don't think it could mud shot it down. I think it's gonna, if it tries to mud shot it down, it's gonna have to give up 2 shields.
Using a single Protect Shield on this Registeel, and then there comes the pivot into the Noctowl, gonna try to wing attack down the Swampert.
Yeah, Ryan, I agree. It is fun to hang out. This was a good idea. Smiley and I were talking about it.
And here's the thing, Jay Brancy doesn't know this yet, but that Noctowl would be very impactful for that Lickitung.
Smiley and I were talking about it, but Smiley had something going on, so I was going to just roll solo today. But it's something that we want to continue doing in the future. I think it's definitely fun.
Jace Fan did not want to get wing attack down. But these sky types are going to really start adding up.
And it's an awkward situation, Caleb, because it's going to be hard.
Yeah, Ryan, you're it's like 12 a.m. where you're at, right? I believe you're 2 hours ahead.
One day, Jace Fan
you're in Mountain Time. It's 12 a.m. for me. But I've been up since 8:30.
Throwing the body slam right before the next sky attack from Jay Brancy.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Jace Fan does have to eventually use his shield here, but let's see how he plays it out here. I mean, realistically, if you're Jay Brancy,
what do you do?
You potentially just fast move down the whole team. Lickitung is super bulky, but it doesn't have a lot of health left. The other option is throwing almost 3 Hydro Cannons here too, and maybe that is the play because this Lickitung is not going anywhere anytime soon.
And he's going for it. Jay's Fan is going for
the
power whip, not going for any bait, and it's called by Jace Brancy. That's huge because now Lickitung is energy dry.
Yeah, 10 a.m. is cartoon hours. Yeah, it was.
Oh my goodness, this call on the Registeel here too.
That was a nice play. Holy crap.
Swampert is his own and have 100 energy fully fully maxed out energy. Can you get the 3 Hydro Cannons is the question.
He's going to go
Oh
for the first
boy.
one here. The Hydro Cannon, it's definitely going to get protection. And finally, Jace Fan gives
I
up
think
his
I think he
first
does get to
protection
it.
of the match. It is probably going to
I
be
think
a back-to-back
he
here,
gets
but
to
you
it
need
right
at least 3
before
more to get to the next Hydro Cannon.
they
So
get to the
can
body
Lickatong
slam. Actually, I think
somehow get
he's
to a
definitely
body
a
slam
couple
before the
licks
next Hydro
away from
Cannon?
the next body slam because he only needs like 2 to 3 mud shots. 1, 2. Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be thrown. Is this Swampert going to be able to take the body slam or not? It is a Shadow Swampert.
1 HP in a
Can
dream.
Swampert
1 HP in a dream.
endure the body slam?
Oh
No,
my
the
goodness!
knockout by Jace Fans. Lickatong
That
to
was
take out Jay
crazy.
Francie. That was so close in the end. I think Swampert
Wow.
was just in range of that body
Yo,
slam.
I don't
It
know.
had the Hydro Cannon. How about
I don't know
Jace
about
Fan
playing at regionals in
getting to
Orlando
that
after
body
watching
slam,
some
but
of these
then
people.
getting more licks
Holy
in
crap.
before the Hydro Cannon.
It does
How
not
precise is that?
does
I
not
mean,
make me
you
want
are
to
so afraid of taking that Hydro
wanna
Cannon, but he knows
compete.
exactly where his opponent's energy is at. And he got
That's scary,
an
their
extra
level
lick
of
or two
play.
after he had
I'm
body slam
definitely not
energy.
there.
Super impressive.
Yeah, exactly. The precision is top notch there because if you
I will
throw it
say I
a
play
little bit
better
early and it
not
doesn't knock out
streaming,
the Swampert and
but
they get that
I think
extra
that's
one
common
shot
for
coming
most
in when you
people
throw
that
charge
are
move, then Jay Brancey's Swampert
having
is gonna
to,
get that Hydro
like,
Cannon off there too. So
talk, keep up with
precise
chat,
play
pay more
from
attention
Jace
to
Fan
other
and
things
Jay
besides
Brancey
their
catching
battles
that,
to be like a
Hydro
more
Cannon
engaging
on the red shell as well,
streamer.
too. In that situation, I almost call it a safe catch there because here's the thing. If you don't catch the move on the red
But
shield,
having
that
to
Swampert's
like
so
have
low in
no
health,
distractions
you
and
can't
just kind of
possibly
like
much out
fully
that red shield
concentrate
anyway,
on
so
a
you
battle,
have
I
to very
definitely
edgy,
do.
right? So
Right.
even if you don't
Do
fully
better.
catch a move there, it's still an ideal situation.
So
Jay
apparently,
Brancey playing to strengths,
they're
going for
having
that
white
safe
noise
catch there,
fed in
but Jace
into
Fan
their
coming back with a very
headphones.
tough
I had a buddy
counterspot
that
there. The Frost Blast into the red
was
seal.
on
You would think
stage.
an ice type, that's definitely on the more
He was saying
frail
they
side,
have
is
like
gonna lose
white
pretty
noise
hard
so
to a
that they're
bulky
not
seal
able to
type,
hear any
but
of the
grabbing that
announcers,
shield
and
from
then
Jay Brancey that
when
early
like the
on
battle's
is definitely,
done,
the situation
then
that set Jace Fan up for the
they
win
are
back
able to
end.
sort of
Yeah,
like
it put Red
talk
Seal in an
in
awkward
between.
situation where now the
But they have
Swampert
like
could
white
come in
noise
and full
fed
one
so
shot
that
down,
they
force the pivot out of
like
Jay
during the
Brancey.
battle
I
they
mean, you
can't
do think
hear
that
the
Red Seal
announcers
is
or
an
anything.
amazing answer to that Frost Blast, but it's just not as
And yeah, they use
flexible in
the
reality
mics
sometimes,
to
like we
be able to
mentioned, on
talk to each
paper,
other,
it
but not
dominates
during
matchups,
the
but
match.
It just can be vulnerable at that low health, having to get all the way to big charge moves. It did land 3 charge moves in that battle.
Those are
2
some big
against the
headphones,
Frost Blast
though.
and 1 against the Swampert. It just wasn't enough, and Swampert felt so safe in that first game for both trainers.
Yeah,
Will there
yeah,
be
it's okay to
adjustment? Only
count.
one of these trainers is
Like
going
you're
to be
not able to
last
hear
night and has the
anything
Trevenant. Jay Brancey
when you
doesn't
have
bring
them
that
on and they're
Trevenant,
playing
or
the
is he
white
too
noise.
scared of that knocked out?
Yeah, this is where the mind games comes in because
It's
Jace
like
Fan
a
brought
noise
team very
cancellation,
weak
white
Trevenant
noise.
in game number 1 here. Jay Brancey knows this as well, but the problem is Jay Brancey's probably thinking, does Jace Fan adjust here and bring the knocked out, the Lickitung, back in for this game number 2 to make my Trevenant have a really bad time? You get that Trevenant locked into that knocked out, it's not going to be a fun time. But
I'm surprised
if
he
Jay Brancey
didn't
let
bring
a Trevenant in the lead in that first game against
Toxicroak.
Jason has nowhere to go. You have to go to
It's
Frost.
got
Takes super
some
effective
play
Shadow
against
Claws, and
the
that matchup
other
is
team,
really
but
tough for the Frost to come out of with the win
I guess
if you have
everybody's
shields
kind
up.
of scared
But
of
we are
the
going to game
Flyers.
number 2 here, and it is going to be the knocked out here into the Metacham, and this is not a great matchup for Jason. Let's see what Jason does. Again, swapping straight away to the Frostlass, and here comes the Trevenant as expected.
That was kind of a late
Maybe a little too slow,
swap.
Caleb. I mean, the thing is now this Frostlass is going to be able to get the 2 avalanches, because if you throw the Seed Bomb, the Frostlass will survive. Here comes the first Protect Shield. This is a tough call. Do you go all the way for that Shadow Ball, or do you throw the Seed Bomb bait?
Yeah, these Shadow Claws adding up here, and the Seed Bomb is going to come out, and this Trevenant is going to win charge priority. Jay Brancey maximizing the energy here. Does Jace Fan shield? Jace Fan does decide to shield here to throw an avalanche, but the problem is,
Yeah, Trev's
Brancey can
not
shield this
not
and
an
now
answer. I
storm
know
down
you're
and
doing
grab a
super
Shadow
effective
Claw. I think what
damage
Jace
with
Fan's
the
going to do is leverage to knock down
the
the
Shadow
Esper Path
Claws,
to
but
soak up all this energy from the Trevenant, because you don't want to come in Metacham into this matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, didn't even tap.
gotta go
with the
2
Frost
shields
Blast, just
down,
trying to get
though.
as much energy as possible on the knocked out. So didn't want to do any super effective powder snow damage as the Seed Bomb is going to be going through, trying to maximize the energy here. You're going to get a lot of wing attacks. The switch timer is not quite back up, but will be back up after the Seed Bomb. Jay Brancey might consider pivoting.
Yeah, Jay Brancey really might here.
Oh,
and
I'm
that's
sorry, I
not a
missed
bad
your
idea
message,
because
man.
That Swampert is so strong into the back to back.
Smiley, yeah, rest up, buddy.
Exactly what Jay Brancey's going to do here. but there is still a shield advantage on Jace Fan's side, and Jace Fan is very comfortable in these neutral matchups and would love the shield advantage here, just like game number 1.
And they're at the exact same energy right now, both of these knockdowns, and the Metachamp is in the back, so you can't really swap into that. If Jay Branzy is able to land this Sky Attack and get a wing attack down, it's going to have a lot of energy for Jace Fan Metachamp in the back.
Yeah, and let's see what happens.
Noctowl is disgustingly thick.
Sky Attack and is going to win charge priority in this knockdown mirror here, but if this doesn't knock out Jay Branzy's Noctowl, and it doesn't, Jace Branzy just wasted all this energy here, and then Metachamp is going to come in and grab some energy off of this Noctowl.
But that is perfect because it was on the charge move priority. This is one of the most impactful charge move priorities I have seen.
Yeah, buddy, get some pancakes, man.
Getting some energy on the Metachamp. There is
from McDonald's.
Swampert and a low health Trevenant.
Just make your own pancakes.
It's going to be hard to counter down that Trevenant, even though it's so low health. That Trevenant will.
I've actually never had the pancakes from McDonald's.
Yeah, it's tough. This Psychic is going to knock down Swampert. Do you see a potential catch? Oh, the Psychic is going to come through. It's going to do a lot of damage here too. And here's the
I'd
thing,
probably
Jace
prefer to
Fan
make my
knows
own pancakes
that
though.
Hydro Cannon is not enough to take it out.
Yo! Oh, and I got the defense drop.
Yeah, defense drop is
oh
coming
boy.
through,
Okay, so you shield.
Land after this Hydro Cannon, and
oh, awesome, right?
Actually shielding here too.
Appreciate it.
Trevenant not being able to reach a shadow
oh
ball.
my goodness, do you get?
And then they're going over this Ice Punch, and Ice Punch is going to be met, but then you're forced to throw the C-Bomb here. If this is thrown up charging priority, it could.
Cooking takes too much work.
Charge with priority. I don't think it's enough.
Wow. Okay, so
Metachamp
holds on.
Metachamp reaches the Ice Punch, is going to be able to take this series 2-0.
Jeez.
Is the Swampert still here? The Swampert?
No, because the defense dropped.
Yes, the defense dropped.
And the counter went through and knocked out the Swampert. I think he would have survived.
If I could, I would, man.
Didn't drop, but defense dropped.
You should come to Orlando regionals. I'll make pancakes for everybody in the morning. That actually sounds like fun.
Butters, it's 2-0 Central here today. You know, it's your day, I guess. It's your brand. But here we are.
That
with,
was a great battle.
Here. Congratulations to Jace Fan, and we'll be meeting up against Daxu, I believe.
Yes.
And
that was a great battle.
Is Daxu or Brown Baller? I think it's Brown Baller, right?
Daxu.
Oh, Daxu. Okay,
Daxu was waiting the.
So I'll turn them down for a little bit, and then I'll get into a battle here. Oh, you're gonna go to Vegas for the Hoenn tour?
So, yeah, amazing play in that series.
That sounds like fun. I had to prioritize what trips I wanted to do, and I decided that I was going to go to Orlando, or at least do my best to go to Orlando. So this is a decent lead for me here. 1, 2, 3. So this is a weather ball fire. I don't need to shield anything here. Rosaray is gonna have to watch out for the Psycho Boost. 2, 3. I'm gonna just throw the Rock Slide. I don't want to debuff my attack yet, but I want to threaten them with the shield, even though Rock Slide's more energy. Okay. 4. 3, 4. I'm gonna not shield this one. 2. Sludge Bomb. Okay. 2, 3. I was. Yeah. That was horrible. This is what I was talking about when it's like I'm battling and I'm not paying attention.
You're absolutely right here too. And
I'm gonna have to shield this weather ball fire, but I think this Rock Slide takes it out. Although it would have been nice to been able to.
Pokemon that have a lot of defense and health.
It would have been nice to be able to throw those Psycho Boosts.
And so this is going to be
Okay, so I'm gonna have to shield this other weather ball fire, and we're on shields out, and I should be able to outpace it to the Actually no, so I'll take this one and then kill it, and let's see how much a weather ball fire does for science.
you might not even need any shields to win a lot of
About a
matchups.
third.
So, and we saw
two.
almost 2 timeouts.
Oh
already
my
on Brown
gosh.
here too, but I don't think there's gonna be a timeout against Gordon the Flash's team.
And we've seen almost
Okay.
more than 2 shields for every
So,
so far.
I need to wake up a little more because this Rosary just ran through my team.
Amazing catch after catch so far early in day number 2. One key factor to this matchup is I believe Gordon the Flash played a very similar team to
I'm not doing this.
The exact same team from another
All right.
trainer. And one thing that the other
It's not, I mean, yeah, it's spammy. I just wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been. I had a Psycho Boost. I could have just thrown from Deoxys. This whole thing was my fault. All right. We'll pay attention here now. Warming up. Still drinking third cup of coffee. And we'll we'll try to wake up a little more. DSJM 7. This is alright.
And even Trevenant, even though Trevenant is going to
1,
resist
2,
grass damage,
3,
it has the
4,
Shadow Ball.
5,
And the thing is, Trevenant only
6,
takes,
7,
neutral damage from that
8,
Sludge Bomb. The
9.
is going to get to the Sludge Bombs
9
a
times
little quicker
8,
than Trevenant can get to
72
the Shadow Ball.
energy.
Trevenant
So
needs
they're
to
at
bait
2
there.
weather
And really,
balls,
you just have
and
to
then
worry about
also
the
the
knockdown, but
hurricane.
Venusaur at least has
And
Sludge Bomb for the knockdown, unlike Trevenant,
2,
which doesn't really have a lot of
3,
ways to go against the
4.
flying type of knockdown.
We'll throw the Cycle Boost here, and then go right into...
which is a crazy thing. And that's the reason why
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let Deoxys
I talk about the mentions of
die.
How many moves do you need to knock out something?
Because I'd rather have... Okay, so he burned energy. I'm gonna go now into G-Fisk. I needed him to throw the... Oh yeah, no, there's definitely math lessons here, man.
Landing a frenzy plant and then vine whipping down and
I'll shield one Surf.
To keep that energy alive, keep that momentum to use on the back line as
4.
Yeah, you know,
So I'll throw the Rock Slide here, which
as we saw over the weekend, but
is
this upcoming matchup, because Umbreon is one of the few Pokemon that can tank
not
the
gonna do
frenzy
that
plants
much,
and really
but it'll
just
do
dish
enough
back
for
a
me
lot
to
of
be
damage
able
to
to
those Pokemon.
tank
We've seen it in
this
some matches yesterday. I'm not
Surf,
sure
and
if
then I
we've
could
got
mud shot
someone
this thing down.
else that matchup, but we've definitely
Have a
seen
bunch of
Umbreon
energy.
tank those frenzy plants,
I don't
like it
foresee
wasn't
them.
nearly as hard-hitting as
Okay,
other
so he's
Pokemon
got
have.
Pelipper
So
now
if you
coming
can't
in.
rely on the knockdown versus the Venusaur there, I think
I'm
that
fine
ground ball
letting
is
this go
secondary
down.
best option, because again, that
Okay, I
doesn't-
CMP'd
it's not
here.
a very comfortable
Do
matchup
I
for Trevenant, but it looks like
shield
our
this,
trainers
though?
are getting ready, so we can
I'm gonna
keep it
shield
open
just
stage
so I
and
could
maybe look
get off
deeper
my Rock
into
Slide
these
and threaten
teams
their
here.
shield
on the
here.
left-hand side, we do have
The only reason why I
Baller,
shielded is because we
he is
CMP'd and I
running
lost.
the knocked out
Um,
Trevenant, Lantern, Umbreon, Medicham, and Galarian Stunfisk. And I
Okay.
agree with you. The Umbreon is looking amazing in this matchup. It's been so safe, heavily featured.
So I'm in a
from Brown
great
Baller.
position. It
Close to
depends on what's
timeout
in the
multiple
back,
times,
though.
Getting to a timeout, so it's just,
Oh, it's another knocked out.
moves
Okay.
So quickly, has so much bulk, is so flexible.
So
and
this is great.
like you
We're
mentioned,
gonna
there's
just
not that many Registeals.
kind of
Umbreon is just so safe.
pseudo
Only really
bait. It's
worried
still
about
gonna do
a
some
berry type.
damage,
And
but
if
I want to
there's
see
no
if they're gonna
no
shield.
Registeel, which there isn't on the opposing team. I
Okay.
think Umbreon's gonna be in every single battle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looks so
Good
safe for
damage
Brown
there. I
Baller
agree.
here, and so there's
Surf
almost
is
no
just
reason
one of those like good
not
moves
to
that
damage every
it,
single game.
especially
And
against
that's the
like
thing,
flyers,
if
it's not
if it's that good of a Pokemon, even if
necessarily
you know
like
it's not
I'm
weak, there's not much
baiting
you can do about it.
because
But on Gordon's
it's
side,
still
we have the
stab
Shadow
damage
Lapras,
and it's
the
just gonna
Shadow
chunk and I get to it
Reptile,
really fast, but it does put a lot of shield pressure because by the time I get to this Surf,
and Shadow
it
Venusaur.
should be within
One thing
Surf
about this
range.
team here, outside that Lantern, I do like that Shadow Lapras. It is a little bit more frail. The matchup against Umbreon's not the greatest just because Umbreon's super bulky.
Okay.
But you have a lot of play into everything else.
So I
can
think
see
if
the
this
top
is
of the
a
Lantern, so maybe it's a little bit tougher. I think the Venusaur is probably still going to
Sky Attack, oh Shadow Ball, okay
Yeah,
cool.
mean,
I still
think
live
this
though.
game, once again,
'Cause
is gonna
Lantern's,
come
like,
down more to
disgustingly
execution
thick.
than it will be alignment. Because
And
the
then
Umbreon is
simultaneous
gonna be
KO,
in
awesome.
every lineup I expect from Brown Baller, that means that the game is going to be very neutral. So
But
you
I
have
still
to
had
play
my
really
two other
well,
Pokemon in the
crisp
back.
down the stretch of the game, and Umbreon in those neutral matchups, like you mentioned, against the Shadow types, it just slightly overpowers it as we get into
Oh.
the first game, and it is going to be a
Whoop,
Medicham
my bad.
into that Galarian Stunfisk. And an instant pivot coming out from Gordon the Flash.
Yeah, we see the swap to Noctowl here, and this Noctowl is going to be met with this Galarian Stunfisk. However, resisting these mud shots, this matchup is a little bit closer than one would expect into a steel type.
I accidentally got into a
the Galarian Stunfisk, bringing it right away to counter swap this Noctowl.
GBL match, so forgive me while I'm trying to like multitask here.
You have to land Shadow Balls, and you have to land at least 2 of them, and you have to train your attack stat kind of hard. So here comes the Shadow Ball into the Galarian Stunfisk. I'm not sure if the next Shadow Ball will knock out, but I know this next Rock Slide will not knock out the Noctowl. Yeah, exactly. And so Gordon Flash choosing not to shield here. I think Gordon is going to rely on that MVP of Shadow Venusaur again, trying to close it out here, because here's the thing. This is what makes Brown Baller's team a little bit more predictable. Gordon's going to know there's an Umbreon somewhere. If it's not in the lead and it's not in the counter swap, the third Pokemon is almost definitely the Umbreon, meaning that Gordon knows that he has to protect
I think the interesting thing is they didn't give Skarmory wing attack as a quick move, which I think is a good thing, because if Skarmory got wing attack and then got the buff, it would have been completely broken.
Gordon the Flash has exactly the matchup that he wants.
Yeah, it all happened so fast. I think Brown Baller was trying to make the call that the Shadow Venusaur would come in with that Vine Whip down and make that pivot out and just give up that switch advantage back. I guess he doesn't care about it, and Umbreon is going to be able to take that Earthquake, no problem. That's one difference also from the Umbreon and the Lickitung. It takes more damage, or it's able to take more damage. It can take both of those Earthquakes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think Gordon the Flash doesn't want to win this matchup. If you get energy on this Venusaur here, it's going to be quite good. And here's the biggest difference. Gordon the Flash's Pokemon are not locked in here. Brown Baller hard pivoted to that Umbreon.
So he still has the Shadow Venusaur in the back, which I don't think is going to have such a great time against the Medicham.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect opportunity to send in that Shadow Venusaur, try to get some energy advantage, and there it is from Gordon the Flash at flash speed, bringing that Venusaur, but Brown Baller was just ready for it, brought in the Medicham at the exact same time. So now,
hey, but those Vine Whips from the Shadow Venusaur are chonking though. I'm surprised, especially since Medicham's so bulky. Oh, Mandy with wing attack.
Before Gordon the Flash can get to 2 Frenzy Plants, I think Gordon Flash is going to have to make an incredible catch here, but the timers are not up yet, so he's going to have to stall some of this time here by throwing charge moves and grabbing shields from Brown Baller.
He can take 20 seconds off the clock right here by throwing 2 Frenzy Plants. Here's the first one, and 10 seconds off the clock, because that's how long it takes for the charge move animation. Another 10 seconds off this 60-second clock. So he's going to get quite close to his switch timer. The Medicham is getting close to that Ice Punch. He's not going to...
Like, they've just been doing fast moves, and, like, Shadow Venusaur is, like, kept right up with Venusaur.
And then now you have
except this is kind of game over now.
Does not have enough energy to land an Earthquake, and Brown Baller is going to take a decisive game 1 with all 3 Pokemon still.
This is one thing that I love watching in these series, is like watching the what the trainers like outfits look like in the game. That's like one of my favorite things. I take Avatar fashion very seriously.
He's so comfortable soft losing matchups and then just bringing in a Venusaur and just farming down, fast moving down with Vine Whip, getting some momentum out of it. But in that situation, Brown Baller knows that's a strategy of the opponent every single time. Just cut it off, instantly pivoted, even giving up switch advantage, which he valued. So really well played by Brown Baller. Even a really big play from Gordon the Flash. Instead of bringing the Shadow Venusaur one time, bringing the Galarian Stunfisk instead, because he knew the pivot was coming. So, I mean, there just wasn't anything Gordon the Flash could do against those pivots.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think this is the downside of Shadow Venusaur, right? And why a lot of people still bring Trevenant, even though it is hard-walled by that Noctowl matchup. The Trevenant does not need a shield against that Medicham in that matchup until they land 1 Ice Punch.
I'm just making a post trying to see if more people want to join the party here.
Pretty much have to shield every potential Shadow Ball. and even the C-bombs are going to add up with Shadow Claw damage. So that is definitely one benefit in that matchup, and Brown Ball was able to take advantage of it with that Meta Chain with energy. And now here we go, we have the Shadow Kanto 9.
Oh no.
Into the Glaring Stumpfist.
And this will be Fire Spin, and looks like Brown Baller is just going to stay in. There's no true answer to this Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Glaring Stumpfist is not bad because you can reach and try to swap on a move here, but now you could just be throwing out some overheats.
Why? Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
Huge overheat too, and Brown Baller is going to actually shield.
Oh, did you end up building a Lickitung?
Shield is expecting this to do more damage than most things on the opposing end, and here comes.
Oh, he caught. Okay, that's a good catch.
It's still the correct move from Brown Baller to end, but is going to avoid that damage on the Ninetales.
Exactly. You would love to take it on the Glaring Sunfist where it's not going to phase it really, and it would do a lot to that Shadow Kanto Ninetales. So fantastic play by Gordon the Flash. I like bringing the extra shadow to this game. There was good defense by Brown Baller in game number 1, so Gordon the Flash is just upping the pressure as he takes the next foul play.
Yeah, Gordon Flash definitely wants to win switch advantage here if possible. You already have the shield advantage here, but you don't want to see that knocked out into that Venusaur matchup. And so Brown Baller actually does have energy still on that Glaring Stumpfist, so there is some play here, but Brown Baller is down 1 shield.
And because of the fire spins that the Umbreon took earlier in the matchup, now Brown Baller's Umbreon is in range.
Oh my goodness, it's like a 5 kilometer per candy Pokemon, right?
Umbreon is surely going to outpace it, and it just gets to it a turn or two.
Okay, so you're okay. Wow, so you're opting to just let the G-Fist go down, huh?
Into the Kanto Ninetales, and also
okay.
So healthy, it's hard to fast move it down.
Yeah, I like this play from the Venusaur here too, because Gordon Flash doesn't know this yet, but it is going to be a knockdown on the back. So if you tank the foul plays here and save the shields for the Ninetales, it might put you in a better position here. And
I think the battles are more interesting as like from the shoutcaster's perspective, being able to see both teams. That's just like that's one thing I love about the regionals.
I think it's going to do about half of the knockdown. We're going to see if there's going to be another pivot. No, actually just values his switch timer so he can catch something later. Brown Baller does not pivot.
I turned up the commentators.
But Brown Baller does not know it. He does not know if this is a blind Sludge Bomb, if it's a huge call, and he knows Protect Shields are not very effective Frenzy Plant.
That's a huge no shield, but that Frenzy Plant is.
Let me know if you wanted, 3 kilometers. Okay.
This Weather Ball's going to get no shield from Brown Baller here too. What a great read, because Brown Baller already has energy on this Glaring Stumpfist.
Yeah, and now it's at a Rock Slide. It's at double Rock Slide. There is only 1 Protect Shield remaining and no Protect Shield from the Rock Slide. You still have a Rock Slide available for the Shadow Venusaur as you get the knockdown on the Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Once again, this Venusaur is going to try to Vine Whip down before the double Rock Slide.
Oh my goodness, dude. This Shadow Venusaur is disgusting.
Once again, it could be his last game ever. Can he close it out with his signature Shadow Venusaur? It is going to get a Vine Whip down. This is going to be huge. You might have to land a bait, or do you go straight for the Sludge Bomb? Go straight for the Sludge Bomb. Is this enough, but you said it's half health, and this is definitely more than half of the health on the knockdown.
No Protect Shield. Can it knock out the knockdown? No. So it's going to be a
you
fast
gotta,
move off, and
oh man.
Wins that fast move off. Brown Baller takes it 2-0 to knock out Gordon the Flash. Shadow Venusaur threw a blind Frenzy Plant, expecting the
Brown
Glaring
Baller
Stumpfist to throw energy. Glaring Stumpfist had energy in the back. I think he was calling that he would come in, throw the energy, so Gordon the Flash wanted the charge move priority on it. And
yo, Shadow's the king, man. Like, he's holding it down as a judge.
In the knockdown instead and resist that Frenzy Plant, and that was the game. Because if that was Sludge Bomb instead of Frenzy Plant, Gordon the Flash wins that battle.
Exactly. You're 100% right there, too. But a great call from Brown Baller, not only bringing the knockout, but also choosing not to shield the potential Frenzy Plant there, which is just a huge call there. And a great game and great tournament run from Gordon the Flash, but he will be knocked out of the tournament. And we're still here, Butters. It's still 2-0. What's going on today? We haven't seen any 2-1 or 1-2s here. It's just straight 2-0s in day 2 here in Toronto.
The thing is, these 2 O's have been some of the most epic.
That was great. Okay, so let's see. So we have Dax.
I mean, they're so close.
All right.
Game. They
let's go Dax. Goes against J-Fan. Jay's fan.
To the loser semis. He will be awaiting the trainers in the top bracket.
I think Dax could win that for sure. Okay, so Hot Pocket's out, which is all right. I mean, he already had a spot to Yokohama, I think, is where they're having the Worlds.
The defense by Brown Baller to stop what Gordon the Flash was going for.
So Dax has to go to loser semis, which I believe are still best of 3.
Like I said, you know, when you're the shadow you're using all these shadow Pokemon, you want a ton of shields. You want a shield.
Uh-oh. I accidentally hit the mute button there. There we go.
But Brown Baller able to keep it going with the bulky team.
Yeah, quick clarification. Actually, Brown Baller will be awaiting the lower side of that losers bracket between
yeah. That would be the dream, man.
We will be facing Brown Baller, and then they will battle it out to make to the losers finals. But we will have that matchup next. We're gonna toss to a quick break, and we'll see you soon.
All right, so they're on a break. Let's go. All right. What's going on here? All right. Let's continue out this set. Yeah, one of us needs to win like the lotto, and then if we win, we all have to make a pact that we'll buy first class plane tickets to the winners. Or not to the one to oh, Hariyama? Okay, we're gonna cycle boost here. Hariyama, this could be a Iron Head superpower. Okay, it's resisted. Okay, that was not a good decision by them. But okay, so if we win the lotto, first class plane tickets to the viewers. Okay, they're still switch locked here, so they're gonna have to take some of this damage. Oh yeah, for sure, Spicy. I like Hariyama though, so I think this is just gonna be a cross poison. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna throw the surfs. Okay, we got one shield. We'll just throw the second one right away here. And if you guys are just joining in, I know that we got some new viewers here. While they're on break, I'm just playing some sets here and transitioning between scenes. Just throwing another cross poison. I'm gonna be able to farm this down. Throw the surf at the Swampert. So I'm gonna start using my shields here, and then I'm gonna throw back-to-back Psycho Boost. Oh, trainer, Elite TM. Please, Elite TM, Hydro Cannon on Swampert. It is worth the investment. Or just go catch one from one of the Mega Raids, and then... Actually, I'm not sure if you could trade those down to Great League level.
Young Street is the longest street in the world at 35
Surf
miles
OP.
long, and it's been a long road for the trainers to reach day 2
Probably.
of the Toronto Regional Championships. I'm really excited to be back here, Mark, talking with you about these matches. We have some exciting pairs to watch, and our
Single mud shot. Let's go.
King, man, awesome casters.
Absolutely,
We'll save the shield for the next
and
one.
We are sitting here in the losers bracket here, trying to resolve some of the earlier losses from the winners bracket that caused the trainers to drop back down.
All
but
right.
We are going to see two battlers that we have seen already before. We're going to be watching Daxo versus Jace Fan.
I'm really excited to get in this pair here. Very different. And
all right,
unique
looks
teams
like
as we track the journey here.
they
Brown
are
Baller taking down Gordon the Flash 2-0.
Let's see really quick what they're doing.
There. I think our co-caster Two Butters put it
Okay,
very
so they're
well.
talking
Brown
about
Baller's
the
defensive strategy was just incredible, not allowing Gordon
Dax
the
might
Flash
be
to get
up.
ahead on energy
Yeah.
and just denying him any opportunities. What do you expect to see from that pairing below it, Daxu versus Jace Fan coming up?
Well, what's interesting is we now have only one Shadow Venusaur Enjoyer left in the the tournament here, and that is going to be Daxo. We did not see that Pokemon come out in his previous matchup with Wadaj, so this is going to be pretty interesting though, because Jaceman, you know, has some similar Pokemon as Wadaj did in the match here, but most importantly, there's that Shadow, or there's that regular Swampert here on Jaceman's team. Daxo, I think, is going to be very excited to have Venusaur potentially put some bench pressure on. We've seen Venusaur do very well with energy advantage, also doing very well against, you know,
while they're
Pokemon
talking,
here.
we'll get
Venusaur
into the
says,
next one there.
I have Frenzy Plants, and Frenzy Plants are going to be able to tear down.
So we're at
that it wants to.
3-1 right now in this.
So I think Daxo here, this is the opportunity to use that Pokemon.
This set.
But, you have to really be careful, because there is that Noctowl over there, you know, one of the most popular Pokemon here, and I think he's going to hopefully leverage his team to be able to protect the Venusaur here. I think we're
another
going to see
Swampert.
another Shadow Venusaur feature kind of
2,
towards the end of the
3.
battle.
Well, while we were getting
4,
queued up here, I did see Jays fan in the crowd watching those battles that you just saw on
Okay,
stream
so this
as well.
is the
maybe
first
he's
Hydro
taking some
Cannon. I'm
notes
not
on how
going to
to
shield
defeat
it.
a Shadow Venusaur. Let's take it away to the stage here. Our trainers are queued up and ready to go. And you know, something was very familiar.
So I hear that they're
to
queued
me
up.
about Jays fan's team, and it's not just because we're seeing it here this weekend.
I'm gonna shield
actually,
one
let's talk
here.
about Daxus first. I'll save that little tidbit for a moment later. He does have that double poison strategy, just like you mentioned, Mark.
I'm gonna throw the double
Shadow
cycle
Venusaur is
boost.
So powerful. The Sableye offers so much flexibility, and it's really tough because he's fighting for his tournament life here. If he loses this one, he's out of the Toronto Regional Championships for the weekend.
Yeah, he really has to be thinking about, I mean, he's playing against a more traditional and meta team here, but again, he's got the tools that he needs to be able to utilize this. He's got the Registeel, he's got the Umbreon.
I'm gonna go into, so even though he's doing super effective damage,
if he chooses to go the route of Venusaur here,
I'm gonna tank
that's the
this
direction that I would go. Otherwise,
Hydro
you know,
Cannon.
if he wants to play it super safe here, he can try something that is
I mean,
like,
Earthquake.
Sableye in the Umbreon backline, or even just leading off Sableye as a potential safe switch, and get ahead on energy on some of these Pokemon as well.
The more I look at this matchup, the more I appreciate
Use the
that
shield
Umbreon
here.
there for Daxu. I think that could be very impactful, not only as a safe switch, but also as a lead Pokemon. Jace fan with the Frostlass, Registeel,
2,
Swampert,
3,
Metachamp,
4.
Lickitung, and
And
Noctowl.
then
And if you've been
let's
tracking this super
rock slide
tournament
this
weekend
thing
we've had here
down.
in the Play Pokemon Championship Series, you might recognize this team as being the exact same six
Yeah,
that Valiant
major
Fish
ouch.
just won with in
1,
Brisbane, Australia.
I'm sure they're sharing some
2,
tech right here, finding some a good way to balance the strategy.
3. So I'm at double rock slide, so they're gonna have to shield this one, and then it's gonna go to CMP.
Well, this team is very, very dynamic. We saw Jace Fan face off in a mirror match not
4.
once, but twice against Ed Lucio.
So I'm gonna let him take out.
And I think he has full mastery of this team. I'm really excited to see how these two trainers will square off. We saw earlier on in the tournament, trainers safe swapping the
it's gonna
Toxic
die
X.
to
I
the
think
next
that's a very risky strategy against Jace Fan,
Incinerate, so I
especially
might as well
considering
do
that
some
Zap
chip
Cannon
damage off here.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely.
Oh yeah.
I think we saw Daxo yesterday safe swap the Toxapex one time and get really hard
Okay.
punished by Registeel.
So he's gonna seed bomb. I should be able to. I need a total of 3
but also donating 100 energy to the Registeel with
rock slides.
So, yeah, definitely.
Because I still need to take out the
mainly because we don't really see too many big targets for it. But it does look like we're heading into the battle here, and we do have Umbreon leading off against Noctowl on Jace Fan's side.
So they're
and,
battling
again,
right now.
Lack of Shadow Venusaur in the back here, even if there is a favorable match here.
Sometimes when you expect a Pokemon to appear, it can apply a lot of mental pressure to your opponent. So this is an interesting approach.
I
Like you
lost
said,
to
not
the
bringing that
Incinerate.
Shadow Venusaur on game number 1. Going straight for the foul play here, opting for a very safe lead situation. But as we always talk about, Mark, these two trainers are already trying to dissect what's in the back. We see a safe switch into Registeel and then Sableye.
And we're already seeing a little bit of aggression from Jace Fan.
Yo, I really like the shiny Registeel though. But let's go Dex.
Against Registeel here, of course, going to be taking 1 damage from those lock-ons, and then Zap Cannon's still going to be doing quite a bit of damage here. But it does look like the attack fall does come here. Daxo already under a lot of pressure now with that debuff.
It's really critical to get that safe switch in as quickly as possible because the Sableye can outpace that first foul play, and you want to throw it early to maximize
throw the
its effectiveness.
foul
But now the
play right
Registeel
away.
needs a second charge attack to KO the Sableye, whereas the Sableye needs 2 more foul plays to secure the knockout.
Yeah, and right now Daxo here, I mean, it's going to be in a very tough spot, but I think Jace Fan also trying to get some trying to get some information from Daxo.
So
right here.
maybe he could
response,
shield.
Maybe there is not a fighter in the back here. Trying to
Okay, so he's
what is
just
the
gonna
last
let
Pokemon
him
in Daxo's
use the
lineup. It
energy
does
there.
look like with the attack debuff, Daxo will opt to allow his Sableye.
I mean, this is going to be in a tough spot, so he's got a Registeel. What do you, I mean, what do you come in with?
Not very strong fast
Umbreon.
It's going to take a while. You're going to have to burn energy to be able to take down this Registeel.
Umbreon trying to
they're counting on like another level right now.
Jace is weighing the scales here, decides to let it go as well. And after seeing the Umbreon, I'm sure he wishes
you come in with
but like you said, Mark, he's got to make the most with what he has. Still 4 Protect Shields
or
in
Noctowl
play,
to do more damage.
Pokemon with that Swampert in the back.
Oh my god, that was a good catch.
Fantastic catch here, but actually Jace fan may be just a little bit happy because in his back line is a Swampert, and he is going to take full advantage of this Registeel here. Registeel here is going to
okay, so you just go for Focus Blast here, right?
A little bit of an energy advantage upon coming in, but it does look like he is going to reach the Focus Blast here. Will not knock out the Swampert, but I think Jace fan is in a commanding position right now.
Potential overextension there by Daxu, wanting to send that Sky Attack energy to an inefficient place, but open the door here for Jace fan Swampert to walk in and start firing off these Hydro Cannons. Here comes the first one. We've seen the Earthquake on the Jace fan Swampert, and it does command that early shield here.
Yeah, and right now Jace fan in a fantastic spot here. He is going to be able to burn down the shield for a Hydro Cannon here. He is going to go for the Earthquake here. This is going to knock out the Registeel, and Daxo does sniff that one out here, but now
that's
no
crazy
left on Daxo's side.
Whoop, sorry guys. Hang tight.
These trainers really struggling in this matchup. We're trying to wrestle away control. And
okay, you should be able to hear now.
And throws a foul play.
And we are going to see the foul play come out here, but Swampert, it may not be the bulkiest Pokemon, but it will survive the foul play. I think it is going to bank some energy here on Jace fan's side and go to the Noctowl here. And Swampert does leave the matchup here with an Earthquake ready in hand. It will win Charge Move priority in the event that Registeel does have a move ready.
2 very bulky Pokemon here on your screen, about at health parity as well. We do see the Sky Attack connect. No Protect Shields in play. Umbreon maximizing the energy. Only 1 Snarl, only seeding 1 turn of free energy to that
I think this is going to be super close.
Throwing the foul play here. It needs probably 2 more.
How much energy was left on
yeah, I don't think it's going to be, but the interesting part
the
Registeel came in with that Umbreon and tried to and toss the foul play right there. It did desync the switch timers just a little bit. So if you're Daxo and you can maybe get to a foul play and store that, there's potentially some hope here, but I think Jace fan is in commanding control of this match.
Yeah, Jace fan needs to not let things slip away. Almost getting KO. In comes a Register looking for the lockout down.
Getting for some energy. Okay. Ooh, can he get it? Can he get it?
All the way there, and here comes Swampert.
Oh my god, that's exactly what.
In the sauce, and here comes Registeel.
Let's go. That was a major misplay by Jace fan.
Not throw the charge move upon coming in.
15 seconds remaining, but Daxu
major misplay.
And steals away a win there in what I thought was a sure victory.
We take those. We take those, chat.
I'm completely speechless, Speedy, because
we take those.
Again, Jace fan making sure he had the Earthquake upon leaving, right? Could have thrown the
wow.
I think, because the Registeel had already taken enough fast move damage that I think he would have gotten and had even just back-to-back Hydro Cannons to take out both.
After all that,
yeah, again, it takes about
it happens to the best players.
That
that's very reassuring.
So many different charges and swaps and movements around the board. It's really hard to keep track of just how much energy that Registeel had. You almost have to keep like a mental metronome going in your mind. How many seconds has this Steel-type Pokemon been on the field, and how can I account for that energy? Jace fan is an incredible player. I don't think anyone questions that. Incredibly talented, great with his counts, but at that point in the matchup, just 1 or 2 seconds was a decider.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's possible that he was trying to think ahead a little bit and thinking, oh, I need another move to take out this Umbreon. Yes.
Oh yeah, right.
A little bit of overfarm upon coming in here. Very unfortunate for Jace fan there. I really feel like he had
I agree.
The entire flow of the match right there, but
that
Jace fan, though, I will
was
say the first battle,
crazy.
Bringing that Swampert very confidently.
Yeah.
Despite being a Shadow Venusaur on the bench.
I don't quite understand why he didn't throw. I mean, was it kind of like it could just be a brain fart unless he maybe thought like he needed to gain more energy for something? He had double Hydro Cannons.
If you're Jace fan, because you were so close, you were just 1 or 2 seconds away, 1 miscount away from winning game number 1. But now you're on the back heel, and you need to reverse sweep, win 2 straight to stay in this tournament. How do you respond mentally here?
Honestly, I think the choices that he made for game 1 were very, very solid, right?
Yes.
He understood that, hey,
Yeah, I didn't think he was a scrub. It's just, you know, everybody has like brain fart moments.
He can take advantage of the Registeel, take advantage of his Swampert, confidently bringing in Swampert in this kind of like, ABC with Safe Swap team.
Yeah, there's definitely hope for us.
Because kind of just came out of the jaws of defeat right here.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to go
So, okay, so we stole that win from Jays fans. Let's see if we could at least use that momentum. So this is not a great lead at all.
Into the Noctowl here, basically the worst nightmare that you could have.
Okay, we do see the safe switch. Umbreon met by the shiny.
Okay, this is I think really good. Like we want to see
and the main question in my mind is how badly does
I think we
Jays
have to
want
win Switch here.
And as you look at that back line, Mark, he needs to win this matchup.
Absolutely here. Jays fan right here. I mean, going for the Registeel here is very smart. I think since you need 2 charge moves to KO anyways, you can use Zap Cannon, get the debuff over here potentially, and be able to really control the flow of the match. And again, Daxo here getting that attack debuff on his safe swap here. Jays fan going to be able to retain control here. And again, yeah, you got to make sure the Shadow Venusaur is lined up against Noctowl if you're a Jays fan. And then not knowing what the third Pokemon is.
Yeah, both players winning Switch is like imperative.
We talk so much about alignment here and controlling the matchup, but after game 1, everything is on the table here. We have no
Dax
idea how this matchup will end.
doesn't have fast move shield pressure.
Really
even with the attack fall though,
as much energy as possible before throwing the focus.
My guy
has a decision to make, decides to no shield the Umbreon,
what?
And will lose it to the focus blast.
Yeah,
are you doing?
The Umbreon already attacked debuff right here. You're not going to be able to get too much value. Now, the problem is, though, again, same as the first game, you have 2 Pokemon here that are not going to be very strong from a fast move perspective.
So you give up alignment?
You probably are going to end up having to burn a shield here because even if Zap Cannon is a resisted move, again, it comes down to health, right? You can't sacrifice too much health here because if there is any fast move pressure in the back line that Daxo does not know about, you do not want to lose this match with his shield up.
No
now we lose.
No attack fall there from the Zap Cannon. Daxu taking a page out of Gordon the Flash's playbook, building that additional energy onto the Shadow Venusaur, recognizing he has a tough matchup ahead versus the inevitable Noctowl.
However, we are also seeing both screens. So Dax only knows that he had a Noctowl and
Swampert wants revenge here, Mark.
Noctowl and Reggie. So he doesn't know that like winning Switch was just like, if he wants Switch, he gets everything lined up the way he needs.
And it being in the lineup, but again, I think I want to throw that Sludge Bomb here because you may have to use the Venusaur to come in here and farm a little bit more, but Jays fan very cognizant of that, taking the Focus Blast anyways, knowing that the lock-on damage is not going to KO.
Continuing to apply pressure, goes straight for the Earthquake this time. Registeel wobbles and falls. In comes the, oh my gosh, look at this energy management by Jays fan, able to get this Hydro Cannon with just a couple of HP remaining.
Yeah, and I think Daxo knows it already, is going to take the Hydro Cannon here as it's going to be doing the least damage, but
yeah,
GG's. I think it's going to be a fast move down. You can survive one move from Venusaur, but being safe right here with the 2 Protect Shields, opts to just go ahead and use it in case it is a Sludge Bomb here. But
that was unfortunate. Decisive game 3, absolutely right.
They don't want to leave anything to chance here. Jays fan needed to secure that win to stay in the competition here in Toronto this weekend, and he did just that. Like you said, Mark, really, really great game plan going in. I think Jays fan just kind of shifted the pieces around a little bit, made a great read on the lead call from Daxu. And how do you feel about Daxu leading the Shadow Venusaur? Was that overextension or was that a smart?
I would say it's noon somewhere, but I don't have to worry about that with non-alcoholic beer.
I had said that.
So it's 11. Cheers.
Here, but I don't think you want to lead this thing, right? Because Shadow Venusaur against some of these matchups here when shields are up, or when you haven't created a scenario for yourself where you can gain a lot of energy and into some matchups.
Let's see. So Dax,
especially with the potential that Jays fan could just lead.
I'm surprised he hasn't brought Toxapex in.
I would prefer to hide the Venusaur, get more information.
Because the poison jabs at least would add up and kind of be a good buffer. Instead, he's bringing Umbreon.
The most dangerous
and
parts about it is him coming down and farming down something and saying, well, you know, this
I
might have
don't.
been a favorable matchup for you. But
I mean, Umbreon is like my favorite
okay, well, maybe that's not
Pokemon of all
favorable
time, but like I don't necessarily see Umbreon having a whole lot of play here besides just being a sort of like a neutral safe swap unless they have a Medicham. But hey, what's going on, Uncle B-Stud? Welcome in.
You can use it to either leverage energy advantage a little bit.
Welcome to the party.
But one thing that I keep seeing about Daxo is not a lot of fast move pressure across this entire team here. So when you have a situation like that and you're going to be losing the safe swap, you have to set up enough, a low enough health threshold for your other Pokemon to come in and start getting energy advantage. Otherwise, you're going to end up throwing energy. It's going to be, it's going to start.
Let's see. If we were Dax, what would we bring?
As well. And we've seen the Registeel, Swampert, and Noctowl. One of those Pokemon take super effective damage. The other two take neutral damage.
I would
counter. I think the obvious answer here for Dax
have
is the
Registeel probably in the back
to bring in here in game number 3. We are locked in. Decisive game number 3. These trainers are fighting for their tournament lives. Everything is on the line here. Great lead for Jace Fan. Daxu might look to pivot quickly.
And it does look like Jace Fan calling out
okay.
that Medicham lead over here is going to bring in the Sableye, and it's going to be met immediately by the Noctowl. Unfortunately for Daxo here, he does have a double weakness to fighting on his team right here because I think, similar to what we were talking about, did not expect the Medicham to come in for this battle.
And I think to your point as well, that means that no matter how hard you fight for Switch, you are still going to find that Medicham lined up against one of your two Pokemon, either the Dark or the Steel type. So that in mind, I think Daxu's going to fight for energy here. I think he's going to try to get himself into a position where he can either snarl down or lock on down this Noctowl. But that is a tall task because Noctowl has so much HP.
Yeah, Noctowl very bulky here. Going to be resisting the Shadow Claws that are coming from the Sableye here. And he's going to be bringing all that energy to be able to be used in the follow-up matchup here. I think you're going to be, okay,
yeah,
about to reach
definitely a rough
here,
line.
Does sense that is going to go ahead and opt to throw the Sky Attack.
So,
Umbreon's going to have to come down here. The Snarls will not be able to knock out the Noctowl here, so you are going to see maybe a little bit of energy go to waste unless Daxo wants to force
Registeel's gonna, I mean,
I think
Registeel with an energy advantage, let's say after Medicham's taken out of the equation, but I mean this is probably over depending on how much damage Umbreon takes.
Don't want to sacrifice all that HP. So we do see the counter swap. Out comes the Medicham and everything is on the Umbreon in the back. We're going to look for a Zap Cannon setup, I believe, here.
Yeah, and Medicham
he needs this debuff. He needs the debuff.
Able to deploy the Zap Cannon here, but we are going to see if he can get the attack debuff. Maybe just a sliver too late. Zap Cannon here, if it does land on the Medicham and lower the attack here, it does give Registeel a little bit of a window to try to get to the
no debuff.
Medicham going to be able to reach another charge move to chip away here. Let's see if the Ice Punch is going to be enough here, but instead, Jace Fan going for the Psychic and also the charge move priority win over here.
Okay.
This is going to be knocking out.
Do you shield though? Okay, you shield. You throw the
very, very tough. The Medicham is really low, though,
focus blast.
And Daxu recognizing that he wants to kill.
All right, Uncle B.
Force away a Protect Shield here as well, Mark. I do think we have to see the Umbreon. I think Daxu is out of options, but he can't switch. Registeel is pinned against the wall, and Medicham pounds it away.
And this is such a commanding position for Jace Fan over here. You get to throw the foul play immediately because you must preserve your health if you are Daxo.
Yeah, but the problem is J Fan's just got the Registeel in the back.
Very tough uphill climb for Umbreon. Not to mention that as the only remaining Pokemon on his roster, if you debuff,
Dax,
there is no way to reset that.
Sorry, buddy.
I agree. Jace Fan's Medicham has backed Daxu into the corner.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Pinned him against the net here. Does throw a foul.
That was really tough, though. Again, that was really tough.
A chip away matchup. This is a little by little, step by step effort, and with only one Pokemon remaining with half health, a Focus Blast plus the lock-ons might be all that Jace Fans needs.
Yeah, and Jace Fan there recognizing, you know, is going for the moves here, using that shield to be safe. There is no move from Umbreon, no one move from Umbreon that can KO a Registeel, and is going to be able to get the Focus Blast off. Daxo here is going to opt to go ahead and move past, knowing
GG's, Jace Fan.
The Giants.
GG's.
After going down in game 1, Jace Fan wins 2 straight back to back.
Okay, so he's in the losers finals now.
Boys right there, you know, in game 1, making that very small mistake here, and not able to fire out the charge move here on the priority. You know, Jace Fan again. able to rebound very, very well. I thought he controlled the tempo of these matches and really
wow.
dictated what Daxo could and could not do. Had some great reads as well on team composition.
All right.
In that game too.
So we got
sniping that
in our previous set, we got a 3-2.
Letting control come back to Daxo. Really
Rank
great job by Jace fan.
Exactly. All
10?
these trainers are writing their own stories. They're envisioning this championship in their minds. And Jace fan played through game 1. And he said, "That's not at all what the script said.
We got
I
the
need to win
Stardust
these
one.
matches.
Okay,
I need
well
to show my
I need
capabilities and be the
Stardust.
best today, because today is when it really
Said
really
every
counts." He showed us that in games number
PvP
2 and
player
3. And
ever.
opposite of all the 2-0s that we've been seeing today, that series went the distance.
All right.
Very, very impressive play. And Mark, I think what we see time and time again with
So
our
if you're
top
just
eights
joining
is that
in
they have
between
such
battles,
resilience. After that
I'm
first
playing
game,
my
they do not
my
go away
GBL
quietly.
sets
They
here.
fight back with everything they have, and when you play safe and you play flexibly and you have that talent, you can make some magic happen. As we see here,
Typhlosion.
defeating Daxu,
Shiny
rising up to face
Typhlosion.
Brown Baller in our
1,
losers semis.
Yeah, and
2,
and again, like you said, it's not only about resilience.
3.
We even had some very close, I feel like, 2-0s in
Okay,
today's
so they're at a
tournament, but
blast
being the
burn.
2-1 battle right there. I mean, Jace fan
they're
is
gonna have to
have
shield
you know,
this.
Having fought back right there, I think it's a great wake-up call because it said, hey, in game
4.
1, I really screwed up. Yeah, I forgot about the energy. I might have been for a second charge attack. I mean, this is going to give.
I'm not going to shield the blast
the
burn.
finals here, and of course, Brown Baller. I mean. Brown Baller on fire today, right?
5.
I mean, he's looking very good against.
Ooh,
against
good job.
here. He's
Stun
coming
Fisk.
into 2 very
Okay.
powerful battlers here. I mean, this
So
is
I'm gonna
huge, right, for the losers finals.
throw
I
this
think Brown
knowing
Baller
that
has
they
the
have a
iron
move. I'm
grip
going to
on
go into
his,
my... Yo, is this
pursuit
an all
for this
shiny
tournament
team?
bracket. He is on fire, like you said, and looking to defeat yet another opponent. Both of these trainers stand just one step away from the losers finals.
Okay, so
and then the step after
because
that
I have
will be
shield
the
advantage,
safe
I
ball here
can...
in Toronto. I think all of these top 8 trainers deserve to be here. As we flip up to that primary bracket, Wadaj versus Magic.
I'm just going to
Mason.
go for the
Mark, how are you
Earthquake.
feeling
I
about
have
this?
no...
Personally,
So
I've been
I
looking
got
forward to it.
double...
Yeah, this
or
is
I got
definitely
baited with the
incredibly
rock
good matchup
slide.
here. I mean, Wadaj in that first game against Daxo showed a lot of poise here. I mean, saw a bunch of might have been a little bit more unfamiliar.
I could shield this and then throw the rock slide.
What his knowledge was about the meta Pokemon. And then on the other side here, Magic Mason showing that
And I won't take that
and also
incinerate
trying to
damage.
craft this very interesting juggling game plan.
And then
in
we're
his
all
head right here.
shields down.
I am so hyped to see these two.
Nope,
battlers go
never
at it
mind,
right
we're
now
not shields
because,
down.
I mean, again, Magic Mason here, can he make the magic happen? Because it looks like he's been making it happen all the
Okay,
time.
so he takes out
Exactly. Just when you think
G-Fisk,
he's
and then
out
I'll
of
just
it,
be
he
able to
pulls a
come
rabbit out
in
of a hat, and he is somehow
with
back
Lantern.
in this tournament, still in the winners side of the bracket. He has reached the finals. Both of these trainers very, very deserving to be here. Mark, we've asked this question repeatedly all weekend long.
That was
but
horrible.
Finally, I think finally, when you look at this team from Magic Mason,
If this is a solar beam, it's really bad.
I do too. I mean, Jump Off here.
Really
it's an
bad.
X Factor, and I'm very curious about.
Okay,
Wadaj,
good.
About
Yeah.
what his logic is.
This
He
is
had outplayed
GG's.
this weekend here, but again, I mean, Jump Off being flying and grass type right here. It has
This is
some unique
GG's. This is-
coverages,
we did
right?
not wanna
And
see a
it's also
Venusaur
very
in the
lane
back.
resistant. So I am very interested to hear to see how Magic Mason can craft something in his head to say, oh, I need to get around this Pokemon here, and this is going to be his biggest challenge.
That was bad. That was
So how do you feel
brutal.
about this pairing coming up? Do you think that Magic Mason is going to lose
A
that first
shadow,
game
man.
and try to
They're
fight back?
putting on their
Because he
Jace
came out
fans
with total control
with
in that first
the
series that we saw him in
shadow.
It's definitely very different from yesterday,
Venusaur.
right? Yesterday, I think we saw a lot of game ones where he's trying to fill out his opponent a little bit at the very beginning and then make adjustments. I mean, here though, I think if you have a lot of momentum from winning the previous battle against Brown Baller, I think you got to come to swing it.
Whoop.
You have to, right? Yeah. You have to come out with confidence.
RNG
All these
loss.
trainers deserving to be here and being very confident in their own play, in their own counts. And when that confidence is shaken, when you do fall to that secondary bracket, you can't let it affect you. You have to stick to your guns, just like we saw Jace Fan do after that first game mishap, getting
catch
lost in the energy
Bergmite,
there, fighting
though.
his way back into this bracket. Both of these trainers are still in the winners bracket.
I'm really happy that they
I
brought
sense
back
Mark
the
that they prefer to stay at the top if they can.
guaranteed XL for trading. I have 1,000 Pokemon that I have tagged for trades.
Or at least a very high level battle.
I would agree. We saw at LAIC last weekend in Sao Paulo, Brazil, not once, Mark, but twice. a jump bluff using double acrobatics to KO a knockdown.
Get into this
A very strong
next
movement,
battle
of course,
here.
Kind of fueled by that fairy wind, right?
Yes.
I mean, fairy wind is a very efficient fast move here, able to get to those giant nuke moves. And of course, fairy wind. We talked about no fairies.
Trevenant, not what we want to see. Okay.
There's still a little bit of pressure here if you happen to have an Umbreon lined up against it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
exactly. And then you look at the other
7,
grass type on the opposing
8.
side, the Trevenant there from Wadaj, acrobatics.
So they're at
same type attack
7.
bonus. It's a huge
I'm
charge
gonna
attack.
shield
That's
the
going to
first
drain
Shadow
that
Ball.
Trevenant's HP almost instantaneously.
Yeah, absolutely here. I don't think we might see that situation, but again,
5.
Trevenant is always going to be a little bit uncomfortable against those flyers here. So the one thing is though, Jump Bluff doesn't have a flying fast move, so no chance of it getting chipped down on the Trevenant side, but he's still taking that
Six.
damage.
I wanted to ask you about this. We saw Wadaj earlier on in the tournament today actually using
Throwing the double
Lickitung to
rock
beat a
slides
Registeel,
here.
bringing in a
G-Fisk is
Frost Slash
okay
and
at
letting
like
it go
chipping
early on the
away.
matchup. You look at these Pokemon. and you
Okay,
think they follow a
so
certain
I have an
script.
energy
You look
lead
at
here,
Registeel
so I'm
versus
just
Lickitung,
gonna
and you think, okay, Registeel has that matchup pretty comfortably.
throw the
But Wadaj
Earthquake
seems to
right
kind of write
away.
his own story here. He doesn't really care about the
They
conventional
probably have a
thinking.
Shadow Ball
Do you
still
think he
loaded
has some
on.
unconventional thinking to this matchup as well?
Yeah, I think he's got to make,
2,
I mean, he
3.
definitely has to make those adjustments. The
They're
Lickitung
at
play earlier was
Earthquake.
very, very impressive because, you know, Lickitung is a Pokemon where you think, oh, you know,
I'm
flying
gonna
fighters take it out,
shield
or
this, and
you
then
can't
I
do
think
it
I
against
could just
Registeel,
farm
but
this down
what
now.
Wadaj set up very early on was he was able to manipulate health values, right?
Yeah.
So,
And then
again,
I'm just gonna
it's not about
try to
strategy,
throw
it's
the
more
Rock
about
Slide. This is
execution,
gonna pull a
execution,
shield.
surprising your opponent at the very end, right? But we've seen a lot of times here, you know, again, maybe it's predicting your opponent's team, maybe it's trying to
Okay.
set up your sweeper, and you kind of, you know, you kind of mess up a little bit along the way, but we've seen health
They
values
have
get
to throw the
a little
Shadow
bit
Ball.
here to the point where the Lickitung can just
Because the
say,
Seed
I'm
Bomb's
gonna
not
let
gonna
you guys down.
KO.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't care if you're super effective against me,
Um,
but I have enough damage here just to close out the fight here. But yeah, Wadaj
Not
using
in the
Lickitung as a
best
closer, we don't
position
see
here,
too
but we
often.
are shields down.
Exactly. You actually set up my next question really, really well because I was
4,
thinking about that. I was
5.
thinking what
So,
approach
Seed
is
Bomb's
the
gonna
correct
do
approach here
about
for these trainers. We think about the big three:
a
shield advantage,
third.
switch advantage, and energy advantage. HP advantage is also a key factor here, and I think what really defines
Oh,
all of these
boy.
top trainers is their ability to shift gears. I think Gordon the Flash
Okay.
got kind of caught earlier on in the tournament, always
So,
trying to push for that energy advantage, always trying
I
to
need
fire something down to fire
to
spin
rock
something
slide
down,
this
and then
thing,
unleash
which
all
is
that
gonna
energy
be
onto his opponent. And
unresisted.
when you watch back this tape, you can see these strategies, and once you pick up on that and you try to disrupt it, it's really up to the trainer to react, to adjust, to change their approach.
I think this
Otherwise,
does
it's gonna
about
be a very,
half.
very uphill battle, and I think that Wadaj has really shown an ability to switch up his
Oh,
approach. when
no,
he
it
needs
does,
to,
like,
relying on the fast attack damage
third.
from Lickitung,
Okay.
playing for switch advantage when he has
So I need to
control
go for
in
the
terms of
Psycho
matchup,
Boost,
or
a
even
Surf.
going for the shield advantage when he has that Frost Slash in a position to succeed. So in this particular pairing here,
Oh, boy.
again, both these trainers very, very flexible in their approach.
Okay.
What do you think is the most important factor for game one?
Yeah, I think
So
for-
this
I-
is
I think
resisted,
for
but this
Wadaj
should
for
kill.
sure is making sure that he takes advantage of.
I
kind
need
of
to get
kind of
to
bulky Pokemon just to get a read on what Brown Baller's strategy is going to be coming in.
A
For Brown
Thunderbolt.
Baller here, of
This
course, we've seen
might
this 6
be
before.
enough,
No
even
trainer
though it's
safe
resisted.
Yes.
So again, it's going to be up to and the way we've seen Brown Baller and Magic Mason use.
Let's go.
That we've seen
Let's
Brown Baller
go.
and Magic Mason use his team is double weakness backlines, kind of bait swaps, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's up to Wadaj here, I think, to use the
Okay.
weakness of his team to really get a read on the first game, and then shift those gears to find out: do I need switch advantage? Do I need health advantage?
Let's see where they're at right now. I want to see
All right,
what.
well, I think our debate is over. We have trainers on the stage ready to go.
Okay,
Let's take a
trainers are
look
on the
here
stage
at
here.
Our competitors. It looks like we are getting Brown Baller versus Jays Fan. I know we're talking about all these competitors here, and we get a little bit kind of tied up here, but we do have Brown Baller on the stage. We hear
Let's
some
go
hype in the
Baller.
crowd. Let's get some hype in the streams. If
Yo,
you're watching
let's
on
give
Twitch
some
or
Lantern
YouTube,
hype.
let's
I
see
want
which
Brown
trainer you
Baller
are
to win
supporting
just
here.
because of
Brown
he's
Baller has
bringing
been
he's
incredibly
bringing
resilient.
Lantern.
He has an iron grip on this loser's bracket. and
So
his
happy
opponent
they
is
gave
looking
Lantern
to
Surf.
loosen up that control.
Yeah, and we just and seeing Jays Fan come out of the previous matchup here. I mean, able to recover from the.
And he's got
game
Umbreon on
the-
his
the
team.
game
Let's
missed
go.
he had. Has to be feeling pretty good here.
Nice
able
little
to manage and
Bastodon
finish this
plushie.
Kind of fight back to the finals here. So again, I mean, both of these trainers here. I think Jays Fan has definitely the safer team here with all of the bulk.
Yes.
And I think he's going to do the same thing that he did in game one. Get the read over here. Try to set up a win condition. Understand how Brown Baller wants to approach the match.
Give Lantern
Did
Hydro
Jays Fan
Cannon.
adopt the
That would
approach
be
in the earlier series of just
absolutely
watch, I think he needs
disgusting.
to bring the Medicham into
Hey,
this
welcome
series
in,
here.
Josh.
Knocked out Lantern, Umbreon,
Oh,
in
yeah.
their match
Yeah,
against
Lantern's coming
the
in clutch for a
Medicham
lot of
from his
people.
opponent. I really think he's got a lot to play
What
here,
what are
with this
you
Medicham.
running
Yeah,
with
Jason inside
Lantern?
Here, I mean, when you take a look at what Brown Brawl is bringing, there's definitely going to be opportunities to use Medicham. But again, I mean, these Pokemon, these are not dominant matchups for them. They can always fight back. So we've seen the double Earthquake from Glaring Stunfisk. We've seen Umbreon be able to chip away at Medicham as well. So it's not.
The unfortunate thing is, I don't think Lantern has a whole lot of play
again, I mean,
on this
we'll see how Jason sets up the bulkiness and the safe switch
team. It does okay against Registeel.
The two teams here on the screen kind of paired
at
against
least
each
with
other
its
as we've seen all
surfs
weekend,
now.
and these trainers are already getting locked in. They are ready for
Surfs
the
do
matchup
about
here, Mark, and I am as well.
little
I can't wait
less
to
than
get into these battles.
25%.
There's so much on the line here in the losers bracket, and these trainers are just a couple steps
I'm
away
going to PD
from
Poke. I'm
reaching
going
the
to
grand finals.
figure
But
out
this
exactly.
is their obstacle. This is the trainer they must conquer first.
And let's take a look at how this strategy is going to unfold for these trainers here.
Yeah, they do
have Brown Baller
22.3%.
leading the Umbreon into the Swampert over here. Actually, Brown Baller opting to take a little bit more of a safer approach here in game one here. Jaceman not.
Oh, so he's got Lantern in the.
He's just gonna
Oh,
with the Swampert
Lantern
here.
in the
Base of
back
switch
for
here
Brown
just to get some
Baller. That's gonna be
The
huge.
general rule here is that because that Umbreon has so much bulk, it will outlast the Swampert.
Wow.
The way this matchup goes. But we've seen these trainers fight for energy advantage. I could definitely see
And
a situation where
Medicham.
Jaceman is content just firing off a couple of Hydro Cannons and then trying to fast move down. But look, Umbreon shielding early in the matchup.
And we actually see Brown Baller here. He's making a read into what Jaceman could potentially have here. I think he's sensing that there is a Frostlass here, which is why Swampert is staying in over here. But on the same time, Jaceman taking these foul plays here, I think he's going to be very happy with just, or very content with just firing off some charge attacks.
So
here,
you
potentially
live
farming
anything.
down
There's
maybe,
no reason
but
to
Swampert
shield.
is going to be able to fire off a couple of Hydro Cannons here to be more energy efficient. And Brown Baller just going to let this go. I think he's already used the one shield here, but that health advantage.
Do
is
you
actually
try to
pretty
farm it
crucial
down
here.
though?
Oh, could
I would
have
farm
reached
it
the
down.
Earthquake here, but instead opting for another Hydro Cannon.
Earthquake,
Can he take
I don't
another
believe
shield
would
from
even
Brown
kill.
Baller? He does not. Great call there by Brown Baller as he looks
Nice.
to
Okay,
slow
so you got
down
that
an
that
Umbreon
energy,
who's
which is
angry.
huge.
And
Oh
this is
my
gonna be a
gosh,
pretty
this
interesting
this
situation
game's
here, because
over.
Look at Jaceman's backline. Brown Baller's backline perfectly matches up
quote
to it, because this is going to be an opportunity for Lantern.
Lyles
to come in
Jeff
here.
III.
And Brown Baller, I think, is got to be feeling pretty good right now. Opting to use that shield on the first charge move from Jaceman. Now he's able to chip away at this knocked-out, and then now he has a great matchup in the back.
We see a little nod of affirmation there,
Okay.
seeing the knockdown come out. It's good when you aren't
So you just let
surprised at
Umbreon
what
go
you
down
see
now,
next.
right?
That means Brown Baller feels like he's in control.
You
Jaceman
just
a little
chip
bit on the
away
back
as
heel
much
here
as
because,
possible.
Like you said, still two healthy Pokemon in the back, and the Registeel has a lot of work to do. Gonna see the Sky Attack connect onto the Umbreon, finally KOing it after Umbreon defeated the Swampert and took over half of this knockdown's HP.
Trev and G-Fist come with nice.
Registeel and has the Medicham to meet the Registeel here. This is going to be very, very tough here. Of course, we have seen Registeel have the potential to take this down here. I do think that you might see a Protect Shield
yeah,
here
you no
at some
shield
point from
this.
Brown Baller, just to make sure the Medicham does go down.
We've seen win conditions slip away at unconventional times. The attack drop occurs as well, but Brown Baller hoping to get a
So is
defense
Brown
fall to
Baller,
the
I'm
match.
curious if it's
Jaceman
Water
is gonna
Gun
hang in this
or
matchup because, as we
Spark
learned earlier, you can
Lantern
still find a
though.
win condition. You just need your opponent to make a mistake.
And unfortunately for Jaceman here, there's not too much left to shield, right? So, I mean, I think you do have to use a Protect Shield at some point here. I would probably have to deploy.
I
it
personally
just
like
so
running
apply
Spark.
a little
Josh,
more pressure
do you
because
prefer
Knockdown
running
has
Spark
the almost
or
impossible
Water
matchup
Gun
here
on your
against
Lantern?
But Jaceman here is staying strong here, going for the Focus Blast against the Medicham here. I think Brown Baller is pretty.
Yep,
content
this
with
is good.
because you can come in with Lantern.
Because you have
on
Lantern.
shield.
Jace fan just seeing what happens. Focus Blast connects,
Yup.
and he does KO the Medicham. With
Oh,
the
man, you
lock-on.
might
Here
as well
comes
just
the
top
Lantern.
left.
Needing a few more sparks to get to the surf. Switching into the
Y-
knockdown.
the-
maybe
yeah,
trying to
there's
catch a surf,
Jace
but
fans
Brown
know
Baller
that
does
knows
not
that there's
take the
no
bait.
point in
Going for a
continuing
surf
this.
bait against Jace fan and draws the shield.
Yeah, and this is why a Lantern is going to be such a rough matchup here for Knockdown here, because having the access to both Spark and Surf, you're going to be able to strip those shields away very, very quickly. And it looks like Brown Baller just needs 2 more Surfs here, 1 to strip away the Protect Shield here, and 1 to knock out the Knockdown
no
here.
shield.
I think he can fast move down the Registeel when it comes back into
Lantern's
Shadow Ball
so
does connect,
thick.
putting that Lantern almost into Focus Blast range, but not quite. And the
If you
protector
think
comes up from
Lantern's
Jace fan
thick
here. He has no more
in
shields
Great
left
League,
on the board. as the surf does.
It is
like you said, Mark, just a moment
extraordinarily thick in Ultra
yeah,
League.
Very safe back-to-back right there. Knows that the Registeel can't come in to catch a move right here, and I think it's going to be a very comfortable spark down over here.
Yep, spark down.
Being able to reach it, and yeah, just barely able to, but still.
And he saves the shield for the next one.
Really well played to both Brown Baller and J-Span there.
For Brown Baller,
very nice, very good.
Seemed to be never in doubt there, going up 1-0 in the
What's
series.
going on?
But J-Span again has lost that first game in a series and fought back just a few minutes ago. And I think he remembers that. He needs to channel that same energy here to try to take the series from Brown.
Crowd favorite? Yeah, it sounds like it. They were chanting chanting baller, baller.
I mean, got punished pretty hard, right? I mean, I think he now knows, or from J-Span's side, he knows that Brown Baller is anticipating that Noctowl right there. I think Noctowl is kind of dangerous into this team in general because you have two bulky Pokemon that you're trying to fight against in the Noctowl Mirror as well as Umbreon, and then you have Galarian Stunfisk and Lantern right here. I mean, if I'm J-Span here, I think I would like to utilize the Swampert here, but I think you have to utilize the Lickitung.
Hey, Hoosier, those play Pokemon shirts that they're wearing, are they like nice shirts, or are they just like cheapo, like Gildan
And that's just the thing,
brand
right? It
shirts?
feels like Lickitung is that safe Pokemon that people reach for when they want to try to control the tempo of a matchup. But when you have an Umbreon staring you down on the other side of the field, it's so difficult to
They
bring
feel
that
nice?
Lickitung due to that Ghost type Lick being resisted.
And you get to
I
keep
really
them, right?
sincerely feel like the Medicham is key for Jace fans here. So if we look at Brown Baller's team, how do you anticipate a Medicham without overcorrecting and opening yourself up to other threats?
Yeah, I mean, for Brown Baller here, I mean, the Medicham that we've seen so far is, again,
What do you do if you're
have,
Jace fan
I guess
here?
You have, like, different types of coverages,
So
right?
you
So
brought
if
in a
you're for
Noctowl.
The Noctowl Medicham core, you can use Lantern here for neutral damage. Or you can,
Oh,
or you
Lyle
can
gave it
Stunfisk
to your wife?
double in
That's-
both in the back here, just to be able to answer it.
Oh, you
so
snap.
can diversify
Okay.
all of your answers if you need here. But yeah, I mean,
Do they have like a brand tag on the back of it? I'm very curious.
Against J-Span's team,
what brand it is. I used to screen print a few years ago.
And then, of course, the only other answer that you have to Medicham is the Noctowl.
And that blue looked really, like the blue shirt looked like pretty high quality. I was just curious.
This could be a decisive game here to decide which trainer will continue in the tournament and which will be eliminated. We do have one of our trainers locked in and ready to go, but taking just a few extra moments, and that is it. Let's see.
So I think if you go up on stage, like, you better come correct with the plushie.
And we are going to see the Dream Lead here, Lantern versus Noctowl here. And Speedy, I stand corrected. I said that Trevenant was a little bit too risky.
Yo, he is.
And we have Trevenant coming into this battle right here.
He's placing Lantern really good. I got mad respect for that. That's awesome.
And he is going to be able to control the tempo of this match right here.
So this is kind of like RPS at this point.
It is not worth it for Medicham to shield in this matchup here. I think Brown Baller is going to be throwing the Shadow Ball here for the one-hit KO. And Trevenant has done his job.
Trevenant has done more than enough, KOing the Medicham, the greatest threat to the team that Brown Baller brought in.
Then he comes back in with Noctowl.
Really needs to leverage his energy here, but that Lantern is so tough to beat, as we saw in game number 1.
He should be able to get to his Shadow Ball.
Here, I mean, you're going to be wing attacking all the way down, but that Lantern coming in, maybe if you can.
I don't know about the
and get to a Shadow Ball. I think that's
the Seed Bomb. Even though Shadow Ball is resisted, I think you might as well just get the stab damage off.
Barely any damage to the health points here, but at least J-Span comes out with a consolation Shadow Ball in this matchup, and I would probably want to throw that right away, but instead decides to bank it, catches the surge.
So this is alright for
Lantern.
Lantern. You just gotta be scared of the earthquake, but your surfs are just gonna be super oppressive.
We are going to see the Umbreon come in here, and again, I mean, we saw the two-show matchup in the first game. Unfortunately for here, Swampert is starting at a deficit here, down
Okay, so
it absolutely is, and we do see the first Protectio come up here, like you said, Mark.
yeah, if you're Jace fan, you have to shield. You can't afford to save your shields if you're Brown Baller right now.
Dangerously low. We do see the Hydro Cannon getting fired off here, and Brown Baller calling it, even though the
Earthquake does like a third, Hydro Cannon does like 25%.
And of course, I mean, we're going to get to a point where we are going to see Protect Shields being forced to use on foul plays and last resorts here.
I think that's questionable. I would have just kept going with foul plays.
Here. I think if he's able to strip away these Protect Shields, maybe there is a chance for him. But, I mean, again, Swampert trying to be the hero here. Has to get multiple Hydro Cannons to land here, but Brown Baller with both of his Protect Shields in a very comfortable spot.
So now you shield if you're Brown Baller.
Wants his Swampert to find that lantern, but Brown Baller's not going to give him an opportunity because
it's all good. Hoosier. Yeah, just let me know whenever you get a chance.
Throwing the sky attack, Jace Fan trying to make this competitive, and we see the final shield actually from Brown Baller.
Yeah, this is really good. This is as good news as it can possibly
get.
Okay,
so he has a foul place loaded.
If you can land a shadow here, there is a
this will probably do about half of the remaining health.
The Umbreon matchup here, that is the only win condition I can really see, but Brown Baller likely knows this. He's
gets a little extra farm.
To be able to take
their counting is really good. Really good counting.
I saw an opportunity there for a double charge move and being able to carry some energy into the next matchup, but
and then he just throws a surf. He's gonna live the Hydro Cannon, but he's gonna. Let's go.
Is gonna be there, and unfortunately, Jace Fan gonna miss out on the move here. I think this is gonna be the match.
Jace Fan had the Earthquake and did not use it, and Brown Baller capitalizes with the
Why didn't he use it? This is now the second time.
And Brown Baller's grip tightens even more on this loser's bracket.
And Brown Baller here just absolutely going off right there. You can hear the crowd.
This is the second time that he's had the move and not thrown it.
Calls here. I think we talked a lot about using the Lickitung as the safety pick here, and I really thought that Jace Fan trying to go with some of these more I would say.
So I think now we're in the
leading the knockdown to the Lantern is not great, but
the winners.
In my opinion, I think you should have hidden it maybe and had the Lickitung out front or a neutral pick out front and just be able to control the tempo of the matchup instead of
turn them down.
To make that call.
Get into these.
He was making soul reads right there.
Sets here.
Right. I mean, we saw the Trevenant come in. We talked about how difficult it would be to bring that grass and ghost type Pokemon, and then he puts it not only on his team, but in the perfect position to succeed against him.
I was blown away.
That was a good match, man. Lantern's crazy.
Come in right here because it's such a dangerous setup for it, but instead. He had the
One,
and it got the full value, right? It took out the Metacham.
2, nice shiny Talonflame. 3,
right, and that was completely worth it. I mean, I'm just blown away.
Okay.
We do see Brown Baller taking the 2-0
shield
victory
pressure
over
here.
55, which places him firmly in the losers
4.
finals. The contest is not over yet. The road is still long ahead of Brown Baller.
I'm probably gonna no, I'm not gonna shield. It won't KO.
I really sincerely feel that Jace Fan is incredibly talented. He's knocked out of the tournament, but I don't think we've seen the last of him either.
Oh, absolutely not. Jace Fan is stable in the community here. I mean,
5.
Again, this matchup was incredibly hype with Brown Baller making those.
Throw the Psycho Boost, and then I'll go into my own. So I'm at an energy disadvantage here, but I do have shield advantage, so I can shield the Earthquake.
And we've seen after so many switches, so many overcharges, undercharges, baits, and shields, and all kinds of activity, it's so difficult.
I'm going to throw the Rock Slide bait here.
And a couple of times there, I feel like Jace Fan was just a couple steps away from executing, but that energy was a little bit off. Maybe he was a little bit flustered there, maybe unsure where the opponent was, and that was all that they needed to defeat him.
Yeah, I mean, and considering that
I'll shield.
I think he had 2 unfavorable leads in that match. I mean, fighting back.
2, 3, 4,
so
5,
being able to set himself in a
6.
position to even threaten the ability to fight back in that game is still just a feat by itself.
So we do see Wadaj versus Magic Mason being the next battle that we're going to watch here on the stream.
All right, so I won CMP.
Mark, we took a moment to break down the teams earlier. Maybe we jumped the gun
because I'm using my really crappy IV G-Fist.
As a tournament competitor, these two trainers have been able to sit back, watch the losers bracket play out, maybe take some notes on their opponents, but they've also been looking at each other's teams.
So they were at their move after they threw the Brave Bird and then the Incinerate right there. This should
I know from
KO. Let's see what they have in the back. Ooh, a Trophy. Oh, Jump Love.
Yep. So the
GG's.
good part about this is that we got a little bit mixed up earlier, but only because Magic Mason and Brown Ball are running the same team. So
yeah,
the best
getting
part
that
about this is
extra
Magic Mason,
dust.
it's almost like you have a prototype out there and you're watching the team play, right? So
exactly,
gaining a little bit more insight, gaining a little bit more strategy on how you're going to use these Pokemon. I mean, Magic Mason, we're going to call him the king of adaptation, right?
We like that.
I fully expect
into Frostlass. Let's stay in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, good swap.
But it feels like he commands the situation, and we've seen Magic Mason start on that back foot and still find a win condition. But you don't want to get behind against a trainer like Wildcat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, so this is a Mud Bomb. At first, I thought this was a shiny G-Fisk.
I don't think I've seen Wadaj even hesitate. Yeah, even in bad situations, I don't think I've seen him move. And again, it's very impressive. I know from a player perspective,
so
he has a lot of these scenarios already, either memorized or he's talked about them or thought them out. I don't think anything can really.
This will be interesting. So he pulls the shield. I'm gonna have to shield this now, but he's gonna outpace me to Mud Bombs.
These trainers are not only elite in the championship series, I've also seen them at the top of the Go Battle League leaderboards, which means they probably played quite a bit in the past. Now, how does that experience from the Go Battle League translate?
Thank God for shitty IVs. This is gonna pull a second shield.
So the format is going to be, of course, very different.
Hey, E110, how are you doing, buddy? Battles are going all right. We're just getting into things right now. Bebopping back and forth in between the live stream and whenever like a battles is on, we pop back into that. I'm not gonna shield this.
And you have seen these common teams already. I mean, you already know how to play against all these team setups. It's depending on how you execute against
I was anticipating he was gonna swap. So I'll shield this Mud Bomb. I'll be able to get to the Surf.
It's easy for him. He has all the right pieces lined up in the right positions. He's able to align the Trevenant versus the Medicham, for example,
so
catch favorable leads.
He's got to throw the Shadow Ball, and then I'm gonna throw the Thunderbolt after a few more. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll see if this KOs the Frostlass. No. Okay, I'll just throw the Surf right away. I don't want to take any damage.
It's not a mistake to have the Lantern versus Nocturne lead, because you got to think about what your opponent's thinking about, right? Jace Man's like, he's got his foot against the back right there, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring in this.
So this Mud Bomb will kill.
Well, I mean, Brown Baller making that call is because of his experience in Go Battle League and tournaments like this, where he's able to say, I think this is gonna be the lead.
2, 3,
right now.
4.
And of course, catching it looks really easy, right?
It does.
But that's a prediction that you have to make based on information that you get from the back.
I don't want to debuff my attack, especially since. 1, 2, 3, 4,
So I think you really need to look back at the game tape from
6. So this should just be a. Maybe I miscounted. If this is an Earth Power, okay, Poison Fang. So I gotta get a 2 Cycle. Oh man! I thought I could live that.
This is a true test.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I think
ouch.
We'll go over the teams real quick with Dodge here. He does have the Frostlass, the Medicham.
All right, so let's go back to the regionals here. We got Wadaj versus. Yo, Jumpluff though. I thought I lived that too. I thought I lived that too.
But again, does it become too obvious when something stands out that much?
Yeah, I mean for this one at least.
Poison Fang does 17%, which was about as much as I had.
Looking at it, this might be the most value that you can get out of it. Having a fairy type move, a flying type move, and a grass type move, and looking at Magic Mason's team right here, this is going to be kind of
double Psycho Boost would have. Actually, double Psycho Boost would have probably left it Well, let's see. I did a whole bunch of counters. Double cycle boost may have barely taken it out before I died to the next 2 poison jabs. Magic Mason. We'll turn turn him back up in the battles here.
One of my tournament notes here that I have here is that, you know, as Noctowl becomes the king of the format, the lanterns are going to keep popping up, right? So here you have no Noctowl.
My raid day went really well. I
puts a really hard stop on that plan, right?
did
So much
about
pressure, right? There's so much team
about
competition,
15
pressure here
raids
from
with a
Wadaj
buddy
on
of
Magic Mason,
mine,
but if anyone can adapt,
and
I
then
think it is the trainer
I
in
did a
the
couple
right seat
more
there. And I don't think
on
we've
my
seen
way
Jump Left on stream.
back
Maybe
home.
chat
So
can
I did a
correct me
total of
if that
about
has
18
occurred, but
raids.
Jump Left also has the ability to learn Dazzling Gleam,
Same
which would
story
be
with pretty much
devastating
everyone
against
else.
Umbreon
The
from Magic
rare
Mason.
XL
But
candy
let's
drop
answer those
rate
questions
was
right now. We're moving into our
abysmal.
battles. This is game number one
But I did
in the
get
winners bracket.
about
We have
12.
Liquid versus Trevenant.
And we have a classic matchup from last season here.
Not
but we
a
already know that
great
this
thing
matchup
for
is
Magic
not
Mason. He's
fantastic
got to
here.
swap
Magic Mason
out.
going directly for the safe swap here.
Okay,
And
this
the
is
Azumarill
actually
going to come out with
okay
Wadaj
for the
being
G-Fisk,
This is a bit of a classic matchup
because
for
This is not
there's
definite.
no
This is not
Hydro Cannon
predetermined because we've seen actually
on
Shield with
a
Earthquake as
Azumarill.
well. Excuse me, I was going to say we've seen the Galarian Sunfist topple
The
an
bubbles
Azumarill
will add
before
up,
due to
but
the lack of
it's
Hydro
less of a
pump.
shield pressure
And of course,
situation
Wadaj
for
is
him.
going to go and,
So
follow
Magic
up to the
Mason
Hydro
should
Pump here.
have
Magic Mason does
notes
not have the
on
information
at
yet
this
whether
point
this
about
has
what
a
moves
Hydro
are
Pump or
on
not, but
their
it's going to allow the
Pokemon.
move to go. It is going to be an Ice Beam. You do need 2 Ice Beams here along with the additional bubble damage to be able to KO, but and now that the moveset has effectively been revealed, you can assume that there's a play rough there. Magic Mason is going to go for the Earthquake here, the parting Earthquake, and Wadaj is going to be able to overrun just a little bit before going for the Ice Beam.
You don't want to allow
So the
a
question
third
is, do you
Earthquake to get fired off here.
shield?
Magic Mason might be content with just getting that shield advantage and working that Azumarill
I
down
would
to
have
the
probably
back half of
matched
his team.
shields, to
Does
be
let the
honest,
Ice
and
Beam
then
through, just
threw
like
the
you said, Mark. There's
other.
plenty to KO. Coming in with the Trevenant here, and man, positionally this is a bit tough. Ice Beam already queued up here from Wadaj.
Yeah, and Azumarill here, you know, has maybe
So
been a
even
little bit
though
forgotten
the
for this
seed bombs are
tournament,
going to do
but
super
again, Azumarill
effective.
carrying that Ice Beam is
What
actually
a
very good against
monster!
the entire lineup of Magic Mason. Magic Mason going to have to get a lot of energy here before bringing in.
What are you
his closer.
doing?
He's going to throw the seed bomb here right before Wadaj reaches the Ice Beam, and it's going to have a little bit of energy, but
Now we
again,
lose.
Lickitung pretty much resisting everything.
Reaching right for the Noctowl here into the Lickitung. You see a counter swap into
Josh,
the
how did your
Galarian
raid day go?
Stunfisk. However, the key factor is that Noctowl still has 2 Protect Shields to back it up in this matchup.
Yeah, but it might be a little bit too late here because Magic Mason here basically has to shield everything because, again, it's about health, right? And those licks are going to add up. These broadsides are going to add up here. And Wadaj here, if there was any time to use a shield,
This
it would be
is
right now because
gonna
if
be-
you can block a Shadow Ball here, the longer that
I
you
don't
survive
think
this
this is
matchup,
even
the faster
close.
you're gonna pace the rock slides, and the more
He
that's
just
gonna
gets
add up as you
outpaced,
get
but
closer to
G-Fist
the
needs
this battle.
As Tua
I
Butters likes
think
to
it's
point
like
out, it takes
2
about
and a
10
half
seconds to
rock
complete a charged
slides.
attack minigame, and that stalls that switch timer. There's only 60 seconds on the switch timer, so after 4 or 5 of these charge attacks, there will be a switch available. Magic Mason can still play around with the pieces here, just like we saw Jace Fan try to wrestle away that win from Brown Baller a few moments ago. Connects with the Shadow Ball, deals a lot of damage. Here comes the Rock Slide.
And this rock slide is not going to
So you
KO, but it
shield
is going to
this.
put Noctowl in a very low state right
I
here.
don't think
So
there's a
Magic
way
Mason
to
going deploy
win
his
because he
last
still has to
protect
deal
shield.
with the
Unfortunate part here,
fully
though, is that
health.
he
Yeah,
may
there's
be
no
able to
way
use
he
Shadow Ball
wins.
here, but I'm
He's gonna
not
get
sure if
licked
this is going
down
to
from
KO
the
or not,
meta
but
from the
still, there's
Lickitung.
an entire Lickitung in the back here, and Trevenant doesn't really do anything here to help out.
There's still a long road ahead. Shadow Ball not enough to KO. Reaching. Oh my gosh. Switches in the Trevenant here.
And he is getting the maximum value out of this Trevenant here, able to catch the rock slide. He's gonna get KO, but, and again, we're going to see Lickitung versus Noctowl here. Now, usually Noctowl has the advantage here, but maybe not at 40% health here. These body slams are going to add up. And I don't think that Noctowl has enough gas in the tank here to get to the very end of the battle.
Yeah,
We saw
no,
there
you
from the first
don't
body
have
slam.
enough
Lickitung
gas.
needs 1 more, but this Noctowl needs at least 2 sky attacks, probably 3, and goes for the first one here to try to chip away at the Lickitung. Wadaj needs to manage his energy perfectly. He needs to throw that body slam as soon as it's available.
No, yeah,
He
there's
cannot
no
give
no
Magic Mason a
no chance.
Going up for another. Oh, goes for the power whip
And
against
I
the
think
Noctowl.
Wadaj making a statement here that Yeah, that
So,
he is the one in control
how
here.
do we
Goes
feel
for
about
the power
BMing
whip here, of course, and is going to wrap up that match right there. Magic Mason here
at
in a very tough
regionals?
spot, able to come back a little bit, but having that knocked out right there, just need
I
a
think
little bit more help
Wadaj
going on here
is
so he can get to the third sky attack.
Yeah, throwing
a
charge
younger
attack like that
player.
just shows how far ahead
Yeah,
you were in
I'm
the
I'm
matchup.
with
You
you,
could afford
E110.
to
I
build up
I
to that
don't
charge
like
attack
the
to revive that
BM.
energy. You could afford to throw a resisted charge attack because you were so far ahead
I don't
in
like the
matchup.
BM.
You
I
weren't
think
really
that's
threatened
just
at
like.
that point. And with Dodge, like you said, Mark, just really demonstrating that he had.
So
a
okay,
definite
I'll
lead,
preface
and
it like
he's
this.
trying
I
to
think
assert
if
that
you're
he's
playing
the
like
one that
GBL,
deserves to move on to the grand finals.
Yeah, and I think the composition from game one.
if you're playing GBL,
I mean, if you look at
it's
both
totally
these
fine
right here,
to
Lickitung coming
do
into
that.
this
I know
matchup
like
is a great
most of the
piece
time, like
because, I mean, sure,
when
Greek against
we're
Understand
in like
and
members
Stunfisk is a great
coaching
matchup,
chat, like
but
it's just
I
something
think the
like
idea
funny
from
that
Wadaj
that
is
we
that
do.
you can use
But I
Lickitung
think in
to
like
take out a
just
difficult
out
matchup,
of
maybe a
respect in
lantern
like
or something
a
like that,
Sylph
it gives you
tournament
information, and
or
if you do have some of these lanterns in the back, it
a
enables that
in-person
later on.
tournament,
I mean, although
I think in an
respect
actual
the lantern here
competition
in this
setting,
particular
there's
competition,
no
but
place
yeah,
for
I mean, that
BMing
was-
at
that
all.
was
I
a
think
great
it's just
call
it's
out for Paul, and then
disrespectful.
able
It's
to really leverage that
cocky.
advantage. I mean, he was so ahead towards the end of that game. It was going to be very hard.
And it's
for
just not a
Wadaj
good
to pull
look.
back.
Like we talked about at the beginning of the series, I feel like the team composition advantage is firmly in Wadaj's court. He really needs to kind of just keep on doing what he's doing.
So like
keep
even
on
though Magic
maximizing his
Mason may not like take
opportunities, and the
offense
pressure
to
really
it
falls to
at
Magic
all, I
Mason.
just don't
It
think it's a
was-
good
the
look
pressure
for
was on
like
his shoulders to
viewers
begin the
watching,
series,
like
and
anybody
now it's just
new.
been turned up to 11
So,
because he is down in the series. He needs to win 2
I think that's
straight
sort of
to
like the
try to
problem
advance to
with
the grand finals.
gaming
Yeah, and I think the tough
culture
part for,
in the
for
Pokemon
Magic
Go
Mason
scene
as
is
well
is
that
like
Wadaj's,
BMing
Super Ball has Ice
is
Beam. I mean, that's a standard set, but the Ice Beam value is actually
is-
pretty big. And we
is
do
just
see
not
the
good
Azumarill being
behavior
led
to
into
have.
The Trevenant here, having both Azumarill and Galarian Stunfisk here does not spell very, very well here, but let's see how Wadaj is able to handle this one. Looks like he's going to
Yeah, you could see sort of like
Goes
in
for the
chat,
seed bomb here. This will deal that super
looks like
effective damage,
Marto
but Azumarill
Gallade
can
said
easily
that
absorb the
like
first one. I think he's gonna look to land an Ice Beam here and
BMing's
try to
got no
neutralize the
place on the
effectiveness
main
of this Trevenant.
stage.
Yeah, and I think he has to be sensing right now that if the Trevenant is staying in and he has the Lickitung in the back line, he might be in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, hangs on there through the C-bomb. Oh, and the switch into the Lantern to neutralize
That's a
this
great,
Ice Beam.
great
Identifying
swap.
the Lantern's ability to kind of play neutrally through these other matchups. Great safe swap there by Magic Mason. Out comes the Lickitung.
Yeah, and this is great for Magic Mason here, and this is that adaptation that we were thinking that he was going to do right here.
Oh yeah,
Instead of being phased by getting
Uncle Beasted, how
Lickitung,
much Mega
against
Energy
Trevenant
did you
in
end
game
up getting?
one, chooses to lead
I'm
Trevenant
sorry that
once
you didn't
again
get the
here.
shiny
This is an
Sceptile.
easy
My
because
shiny
not only
luck
did you
was
get the
abysmal.
Azumarill to very low health,
I got a
you had the charge
shiny
move here as well. I mean, in lane right
Blaziken,
now,
which
if
barely
you
looks
have
like
taken out the
anything.
Azumarill, you've done
And
a
I
huge
did get the
portion of
shiny
what it was supposed to do
Sceptile
anyways.
though.
Both of these trainers showed their cards in game
But not
one.
the-
Magic
not the
Mason
purple
doubled
Swampert.
down with a Trevenant lead, and it's paying dividends here. Going for the double
So I
surf,
go for the
think he can
double
get there.
surfs here.
Oh,
Shield-
Wadaj's counting is so on point here. Gets to the body slam and
Shield
disrupts
double
Magic Mason's
surf?
plan.
Yeah, Magic Mason here is going to deploy the Protect Shield here, and it makes a lot of sense here because, I mean, he has so much energy saved up right there. I think it was the right call. He's going to go for the Surf here. I don't think Surf is going to KO, unfortunately, so it does look like we're going to see the rest of the energy burn. But you have to be very careful against Lickitung here. If you want alignment, you have to go for the Surf here, and Wadaj is considering here, I think, using a Protect Shield to preserve it, but he opts to let it go instead. I think he's going to rely on Galarian Stunfisk here to close the game out.
And here comes the Trevenant, the Pokemon that Wadaj tried to scare away, is now bearing down on the Galarian Stunfisk. Goes for the Rock Slide because this is the most efficient charge attack to throw.
I'm
Trevenant
writing a
is gonna
note
let the
down
first one
right
through
now.
Rock,
I
but
think
he
it's gonna
needs to shield the
be.
second
I
one
think
if he wants to hang in this
Yeah,
matchup.
we're going to
for the
start seeing
podcast, we're wanting to
Protect Shield.
bring
The
back
last
the
one here for
Fireside
Magic
Chat
Mason
Out. We
just
kind of
chips
just like
away
took
here,
some
but
time
I think both players
off
are
from it,
waiting for it,
just
and
because
returns
our
the
recording
favor
times have
earlier
been
and
so
catches
late,
a seed bomb
and
here.
then a bunch of
Wadaj
us have just
actually
had
played
like
with 3 shields here with a low
like
health
other things
Azumarill,
going
and
on,
right
so
now
we just
Galarian
weren't
Stunfisk
able
is
to
in a position
dedicate
here
the time
to
to it.
sweep
But I
this game
think
because
a
this
Fireside
Galarian
Chat
Stunfisk
Out
has the ability to take out all the
podcast
remaining Pokemon
episode
here side here.
on
Wadaj is going to allow one seed bomb to
BMing
come
and
through
having
here.
a
That was
discussion
partial
around
requirement
that
right there.
is
That was really tough
something
there.
that
Magic
we should
Mason not getting
have.
flustered though, throwing the seed bomb, winning the charge with priority, and we see the shield come up actually from Magic Mason. He is now down 0 to 2 shields against this Galarian Stunfisk, and he has a flying type Pokemon in the back.
Yeah, and we're gonna see here no more protect shields on either side, I believe. And Magic Mason, he is gonna force the charge move priority here, and Wadaj actually chooses not to throw it here. Maybe there's an opportunity to catch here, but unfortunately, Wadaj making a great prediction here that there might be a switch out, there might be some kind of activity here, because he is able to get the rock slide off and is up to this Noctowl here. Down a shield here, but has the ability, I think, to really close out this game. You need 2
So
attacks here, Speedy.
We saw Magic
I think
Mason
Magic
reach for
Mason
that
takes
lantern,
this
but
because
just
he
was
could
a
take
second
3
too
or
late
two
on
and a
catching
half
the
rock
slide there. He
slides.
still has that lantern in reserve. He's got to time this
And then he could
perfectly.
use.
As he looks, actually the wing attacks are adding up really quickly here.
Yeah, he's
This
gonna
Glare
be able to
Sunfish,
wing
these 2
attack
rock
this
slides
down.
going for the sky
So
attack
this
here, like
this
you
one
said,
goes to
Mark.
Magic
This
Mason.
is applying a ton of pressure.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Wadaj, might be too little too late right here, because we are going to see the Sky Attack come out. We're only 1 wing attack away.
Yep.
And on the double up here, Magic Mason is able to get off both Sky Attacks right here. I mean, I think just from a way that the energy...
Little bit of
no way for
payback.
Wadaj to come back right there and just get those 2 attacks off.
I'm not a fan
I'm not
of
sure which version
Wadaj
of Magic
at the
Mason is
moment.
more intimidating.
I
The
don't
one
know
who
if
wins
that's
too long or the one who loses the
youth,
first game, because he just
arrogance.
does not go away.
Yeah, that was really... That was really
I'm
great
not
gameplay,
I'm not a
first of all,
fan of
but
that
also
level of
Magic Mason here,
gamesmanship.
I mean, he made that call in
I
game
think
2, said, okay,
we
Trevenant
need
was
better
really bad in game 1.
representation.
Okay, Trevor does come
Um,
again.
Yeah.
And,
to
and,
new-
you know, had the confidence to make
new
that call
viewers
despite having
and
Wildcat in the back line for Wadaj here.
better
I mean,
representation
Magic Mason leading with the
of
Trevenant, being able to
Pokemon
avoid
Go
that
as an
matchup,
esport.
That was a ton of value. You were able to almost take out the Azumarill. You came in here and also almost, well, you didn't almost take it out, but you were able to pressure the Stunfisk so much that it lost so much health right there, not just from the C-bombs, but from the Shadow Claws accumulating, setting up your Noctowl here in the back line.
Also a key there was Wadaj choosing not to bring any kind of flying type Pokemon. There was no pressure there from the air, going with the Azumarill, Galarian Stunfisk, and Lickitung. Let me ask you this, Mark. If you are in a decisive game 3, if you're in these trainers' positions right here,
Although I think
do you throw
Wadaj
everything
is
out the
nervous
window
now.
and
He's
just throw a
shaking.
fresh team at them, or do you stick with the same strategies and maybe make minor adjustments?
Yeah, I'm actually curious why the jump up did not come in here, or even the Frost Blast. I mean, Wadaj's strategy has worked in game 1, so I feel like he's very comfortable playing with energy advantages and finessing with the Azumarill and the Galarian Stunfisk here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's up to Wadaj here.
I can't
again,
imagine
that-
what it's like
that
on
loss,
stage, though.
unfortunately,
I would be nervous
can't really
too.
feel good, because I think he was making a prediction that, oh, I'm not going to see the Trevenant again. I'm okay to lead the Azumarill, but I mean, in this case here, maybe stay consistent here, bring the same team that you have been bringing.
Oh, wow. Look
and-
at this lead scenario, Mark. We got a Galarian Stunfisk from Wadaj versus the Noctowl.
That's a
And it
good
does pay off
question,
here.
Josh.
Unfortunately
I
for Magic
think
Mason here,
this
the best
is
save swap
best
that you
of
have is
3
Stunfisk
because
on
it's the
Stunfisk action,
the
and we are
winners
gonna see
semifinals, I
potential
believe.
mind games and bait calls right here.
I
We
think
are
the
going to have
grand
Wadaj
finals
here
are
who's
best
gonna
of
be a little bit
5.
ahead on energy here. He is going to throw the rock slide,
Magic
and
Mason!
Magic Mason makes the call here. Double resisted rock slide here. And
That
now
was
Magic Mason's gonna be firing back an
crazy.
earthquake here. I think if you're Wadaj, you are now feeling some pressure, my friend.
That
Magic
was
Mason called the bluff on the rock slide. What
insane.
an incredible call. And Wadaj does call the earthquake correctly. Now the gloves are off, going for an earthquake of his own. Magic Mason, the pressure is on. Does he shield this one up? And
Oh
he
my
does!
God, these
And we see
people with
correct
the
call here
last
from Magic Mason right here. And
the
Magic
last
Mason, though, able to
split
get to another
second
earthquake here, but does see
shields.
the swap in over here. Switch timers are coming
Holy
up here. I think he's
crap.
going to
Okay,
use
so
the
if you're
earthquake to
Magic
soften up
Mason,
this
you
Lickitung
throw
and bring in
this,
Metacham here.
and
Metacham
then
against a
you go into
softened up Lickitung
Metacham, right?
is going to actually be carrying
You
quite
could
a
do
bit
a
of
couple
energy
more
out right
mud
here,
shots
and
and then
is
go
gonna be charging
right
a little
for
bit
the
more energy here.
switch.
Galarian Stunfisk is very comfortable against opposing Lickitung.
Oh,
Due to
really?
the energy
Why?
lead, he's able to reach the second earthquake in
Why not
quick
just
succession.
bank?
No shield from Wadaj as the Lickitung dips deep into the red. In
I guess
terms of
because then
HP,
you
the
have
Galarian Stunfisk is also getting
Metacham that
whittled
you could
down
potentially
by the Lynx.
use.
Going straight for the power whip, Magic Mason will no shield, but the Lickitung is now within rock slide range. Mark, do you reach for the KO, or are you content here with the farm down?
I think I'm actually going to have to reach for the KO here because Lickitung is so bulky. I think it's much safer here to get that
Okay.
alignment pick. Magic Mason has the Metacham.
So this
If you have the
G-Fizz for
Metacham,
Mason
you know that
just
against,
put
opposing
in
players, Stunfisk
work.
is in a great spot
Holy
here. The surprise thing we
crap.
don't know about Speedy is that there's a Noctowl
Yes.
waiting for the jump bluff. Which is gonna be very,
Okay,
very
so
rough
we got a
here.
little bit of
And then
chip.
Magic Mason here, great counting here. I mean, he was about to go down anyways, able to get a little departing rock slide off. It's not going to do too much damage here, but it does set up very well here for the Metacham to come in. And of course, you're going to see an earthquake come out. I think the idea from Wadaj here is kind of shaking his head. I think he's kind of understood at this point that he's in a lot of pain.
Alignment was really, really critical here. We did see Wadaj's Galarian Stunfisk defeat a Metacham yesterday. Will history repeat itself? Going on the charge charge with priority here with the Ice Punch. Magic Mason is not flustered at all. He is dialed in. I don't think this is quite enough to KO, but it will be dangerously close. He's just one counter away. Here comes the Earthquake. I think Magic Mason lets it go, and he rides this Noctowl's wings.
And Magic Mason here sensing here that with Galarian Stunfisk and Azumarill taken down here, it is going to be Noctowl versus the Jumpluff here. I think all you need to do is get to 2 Sky Attacks here because Wadaj had to swap out, and 2 Sky Attacks, I mean, Jumpluff is very tanky right here, but those wing attacks are going to add up, unfortunately.
Jumpluff's Fairy Wind does generate energy incredibly fast. He needs 3 acrobatics to win this battle. He needs 2 to KO the Noctowl and the first to break that Protect Shield. But Noctowl coming in with this Sky Attack. Wadaj submits, no shielding the charge attack, and Magic Mason will take it after.
Whoops. What just happened?
This was incredible. I think you're right, Speedy. I do not want to win game 1 against Magic Mason ever. I would much like it maybe just to lose to him straight up. Like, let's just do that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be better not to pair against him at all, right?
I thought that was something that happened on my end with the audio just cut off. I was like, oh god, what did I just do?
With his fortitude and strength as the
oh, so maybe they are playing a
with every single game.
best of 5.
The secondary bracket, but Mark, I just want to express again, Wadaj has been dominant. He's been in control. He knows what he's doing, and he's one of the most talented
I think they're
trainers here
done.
in Toronto. I wouldn't count him out.
Are they logging off?
Rematch coming up.
I definitely wouldn't count him out. The interesting part, though, is that how the losers bracket is played out, Speedy. He gets to play against the same 6 immediately after this too.
Immediately.
So yeah, I think this is. I mean, Wadaj, I think he knew.
Oh, okay. So this. Okay, I honestly don't know. Yeah. Okay. So it's not just me, Josh. Okay.
I think I'm in a bad spot here, but I mean, the next
best of 5. Okay, best of 5.
We've seen Wadaj adapt very, very well on his own as well. So I mean, I think this is a great opportunity for Wadaj just to be able to come back and rebound in this matchup and.
Yeah, definitely an interesting position to be in here. Both of these trainers squared up and ready to go. Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows what's
Mark,
going on.
I have to admit, I'll take the blame on this one. This is a best of 5.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take the blame on this one.
Yeah.
We have some more games to go for now.
I was gonna say,
so
Speedy,
Mason, incredibly
it wasn't making a whole lot of sense there.
But he's got to win one more. Heading to this next battle here, we've got Lickitung versus the Galarian Stunfisk on the field.
And once again here, Magic Mason catching some great leads over here. And for Wadaj, unfortunately for him, doesn't want to bring his own Stunfisk into another Stunfisk with an energy advantage. So is forced to actually stay in here, which is not going to spell very well for him because he doesn't know this, but in the back line here, Magic Mason here, having that soul read, getting the correct coverages here, both Metachamp and Trevenant here, going to do very well against low health Galarian Stunfisk.
Like we've seen before, shielding that early Earthquake is a call. That is a prediction about what might be in the back. Power Whip does come through here, going to deal some neutral damage to the Galarian Stunfisk, but a second Earthquake is imposing here any second. No switch out. Magic Mason holding the energy just a couple of seconds longer, but the Earthquake will connect this time onto the Lickitung.
Yeah, and then Wadaj here opting, of course, not to shield this. I mean, he has to just take the soft loss here. I think he's already invested 1 shield. I mean, the power rip is going to get the Galarian stuff is very low here, but I think if I just match Mason here, I mean, we do have to consider the alignment being very important here. So let's see how he plays this out. He is going to get the Galarian Stunfisk very, very low here, and is not going to be able to reach the rock slide. So very interesting.
Okay, so this is a good position right now, I think.
I think this is definitely a very curious play, Speedy.
Right?
Was it Wadaj?
And Magic Mason again showing his resilience with his 3rd pick in the back. That's going to be bad news for Wadaj when it does appear. Power Whip will connect, and Metachamp loads all that energy. Shield advantage plus energy. In comes the Azumarill, and that charge attack moveset from Metachamp pins it in an uncomfortable position, but Wadaj is uncomfortable as well.
Yeah, this is really interesting here because especially for Magic Mason, I mean, he has Power Up Punch and Ice Punch, which do not do anything against this Azumarill here. So, I mean, unless Wadaj is really, considering this, that maybe there is a psychic or not on the other side. I mean, this is still a winnable position.
Let's see. So Mason's got shield advantage. And he's going to outpace the Zoomeril to... He needs essentially 2 seed bombs.
Ooh! Because he knows he can survive a potential seed bomb. Goes for the shadow ball instead.
Oh, this is game.
From Magic Mason right here.
Mason out of his mind here. We see the glaring Sunfist come on.
GG's.
And with the Azumarill eliminated, that charge attack moveset from Medicham is actually great in this position.
I can't.
Yeah, Mason knows that he just won. He knows he's in the grand finals. He's going to Japan.
His last protect shield right here. I mean, you have to get through 1 protect shield. You have to get through the health of Trevenant. You have to get through power up punch.
That little
I don't think that
little fist pump he did.
Medicham with about 70 or 80 energy.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just power up punch this thing down.
And Magic Mason is going to deliver the
power up punch, double power up punch.
Even more quickly. First power up punch connects. Going for the second one here any moment, and actually opting for an ice punch.
Yeah, and this is interesting. What Dodge is going to do.
Oh my god!
Magic Mason is going to opt to let this go. Actually turn the tides of the battle here, but instead, what Dodge is going to be submitting to this. Knows that unfortunately for him, he is not going to be able to take this, and that is going to be Magic Mason here. Being the winner of the first finals bracket over here, and of course both players congratulating each other right there. Magic Mason with an incredible comeback right here, and a lot of poise right there, being able to win 3 after being down.
That
yeah, I got
killed me.
Excited. I got a little bit carried away there,
and he did it.
That was a 3-1 victory for Magic Mason in the winners finals in that best of 5 series. And what a
oh
treat
my
that was to watch,
gosh!
because the team composition felt
so
like it was
does
against
Wadash then
Mason,
have to
going down 1-0
play
in the series early on.
to?
It felt like the pressure
Does
was really on
Wadash
his
go to
shoulders,
losers
and he was
then?
able to fight his way back into it with some brilliant plays.
Yeah, and this has to be
Oh
one of the
my
toughest
gosh!
that Magic Mason has ever played against, right? I mean, in this tournament, just to make it to this point here, then having to go up against Wadash and being down 1.
That was just hysterical, guys. I'm sorry. The fact that
really
he no-shielded
right there. I mean,
the earthquake,
one, I think each
and
has gotten more and more dominant as we've gone.
Wadash didn't even
Again,
charge
seems
it.
like he's like his power-up punch Medicham.
That's
The
what it
longer
gets,
the
yeah.
series goes,
Okay,
the
so
stronger
he's
he gets.
Wadash
Magic Mason
is gonna
punching his ticket to the
play
grand
Brown
finals, which
Baller.
ensures his invitation to Yokohama, Japan, and Worlds. But he still has more work
Yup.
to do because he needs to win it all.
Yeah, and congratulations to Magic Mason for being our first player in the grand finals right here.
That's right,
you
U110. Yep.
And you know, as we were alluding to, Speedy.
Yep, Wadash Ground Baller.
Because,
I'll go ahead and
same 6 and right, and as you mentioned,
play
before,
a
these trainers are gonna be
match
watching each other,
here.
right? They're going to be watching all the matches. They're going to be trying to figure out tactics. Brown Baller has a very good option.
Again, thank you all for joining me this Sunday morning for this little watch party. I really enjoy
Wadash, of course,
that
also learning
this
from the
stream
previous
for
matchup here.
sure.
I mean, you just played 4 games against this team composition. You didn't do well in 3 of them.
Yes.
What adjustments can you make?
3.
And what is Brown Baller going to be bringing into this matchup? This is going to be
So,
very, very interesting.
It's going to be intense, right? I mean,
shield pressure
not only
here.
do you see very talented trainers squaring up against each other, but
And then if
facing
they
Wadash
shield, I'm probably
just
going to match
in general
shields.
is going to be formidable. But facing him after an intense
They'd have to
warm-up
throw
round
Brave
against the
Bird,
same
but
team,
I gotta
it's like
respect
getting
it
him,
because I've
extra prep time.
playing
right?
charge, so
You
they
never wanna do
need
that to a talented trainer. But we are headed into more battles here. So again, welcome Caleb Peng and
2,
Two Butters in just a quick moment.
3. So they're at Brave Bird now. 4. Shield. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't think I live this frenzy. Oh yeah, I think what we're gonna do from now on is stream these watch parties. And you know, unfortunately, I might as well just top left here. I mean, we're shields down. What do I do here? I earthquake. He's gonna Earthquake anyway with Meganium. What's the play here? There is no play. He's gonna be able to get to 2 frenzies anyway and kill me. All right, rank 11. What are we doing? I'm saving up all my dust. So typically what I do at the end of each. Ooh, I haven't seen that in a while, in a minute. Typically what I do at the end of each season is I blow all my dust that I've accumulated or that I have left. So I made a level 50 Gyarados. Yeah, welcome in, Wildcat. Yeah, we were just talking about Wadage's BM in game 1 and just how like that has like no place at all. But it gives us a good fireside chat conversation about BMing that I'd like to do. And yeah, Magic Mason coming back, winning that. That was some great playing. So I blew all my dust on a level 50 Gyarados. And then I'm going to be saving all my... Oh, yeah. yeah. Wow, okay. I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. Hey, welcome in, Mr. Mumbles. Yeah. Definitely an insane comeback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're at play rough right now. I'm not gonna shield that. 7. I don't want to debuff my attack right now. So they're at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 5. So that's Ice Beam. Wait, I'm miscounting. Holy crap.
Toronto is the only city in Canada.
Where did I lose count? Was it when I threw my move?
It's a city filled with competition, and it's no different here today because we're in the final stages here. We only have 3 trainers remaining. 1 trainer just booked his ticket to Japan. He qualified for the World Championships. Magic.
Gonna be a long episode this week, Josh. That is absolutely right.
Lost there, was able to go on a 3-0 run shortly after
All right,
that.
Wildcat.
Making some incredible calls, no shielding rock slides in the Galarian Stumpus mirror matchup, and even throwing a Shadow Ball from the Trevenant against Azumarill. Not super effective damage, but
so I think this is okay. We can use our shields here.
Ensure the knockout to really further extend his advantage. So love to see it.
And
here's
I'll use one shield
if they in the losers finals, and it's going to be Wadage versus Brown Ball.
Rock slide bait.
And
okay.
The most important part is Brown Ball is running the same exact team that Wadage just lost to.
Throw this right away.
Magic Mason. The Metachamp movesets are a little bit different, but that's pretty much the only difference there. However, different players here. Brown Ball may play very differently. What do you expect to see here, Butters?
I mean, it's a huge momentum shift. Wadage won that first game with that
think
power whip,
my
but
play
they
is
got
to
reverse
shield.
Swept afterwards, taking 3 losses. The Magic Mason against that team, I think, had some teams with a little bit of weakness to that Trevenant. Trevenant was quite strong for Magic Mason, and Magic Mason not only
okay, so they Earthquake. I'm gonna live this Earthquake, but this is gonna take like their
swapping it to
shield
to catch that Ice Beam, throwing that Shadow Ball against the Azumarill to have the secured knockout. So it's gonna be a tough battle for Wadage, as we do have our trainers available. Brown Ball are running that same exact team, saw what worked for
and
Magic
then
Mason.
I know
so
that they're
get
getting back on
stage
here.
Ooh,
Crobat in the back.
Yeah, you know, Brown Baller in the audience likely taking notes there in that battle, expecting this matchup here. Let's see if Brown Baller is going to
So I'm just going to go for Surfs here. I don't think the move really is just go for Thunderbolts because Spark's going to do damage. So now I could go for Thunderbolt. I think I live, so
Magic Mason here. But
Shadow Ball.
So Wadaj is going in with the Frostlass, the Medicham, the Jumpluff, the Azumarill, Glaring Stunfisk, and Lickitung.
Yeah, and we haven't seen much
GG's.
Frostlass, right? And Frostlass seems kind of good against what Magic Mason was bringing. The Knocked Out and the Medicham was often brought by Magic Mason. So will he make that adjustment in this next series as we move on over to Brown Baller?
All right, we're going to go back to regionals.
Lantern, Umbreon, Medicham, and Galarian Stunfisk. One key difference, I'm pretty sure that his Medicham is Psychic and Ice Punch. Magic Mason's Medicham was Power Up Punch and Ice Punch, but I believe that is the only difference in the teams.
Yes, that is correct. And the Power Punch Medicham really did a number on Wadaj's team here too, but the Ice Punch Medicham will still do quite
Before this
well
match, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so I'm going to be right back.
So we're going to see how it plays out. You're right, though. Frostlass did look pretty strong into a lot of the combination from Magic Mason, but here's the difference, I think, between Magic Mason and Brown Baller. Brown Baller, we saw time and time again bring Umbreon into numerous matchups. Even though Wadaj has that fairy Pokemon Azumarill that's going to do super effective play rough damage against that Umbreon, I'm making the prediction here, but I think Brown Ball is not scared of the Azumarill and still going to bring the Umbreon. And if Wadaj does not make that read correctly and brings in the Frostlass into Umbreon, it could be a bad time. But here we go. First game into the losers finals, and it's going to be a Jumpluff into a Lantern.
There it is, finally a play for the Jumpluff here, having a good matchup into this Lantern. Everything is neutral, the Sparks and the Thunderbolt, because of that flying subtype. But the thing is, you don't want to take an Energy Ball if you are the Lantern.
Yeah, and these are going to be neutral fairy winds here too, so the fast move damage is not really going to add up. But looking at the backline matchup, there is going to be that Umbreon and the Trevenant. The alignment is pretty crucial here, but Trevenant also in general looks very good into Wadaj's backline.
Almost getting over 100 energy there, throwing the Energy Ball. This is not going to be enough for the knockout on the Lantern. It survives, but you're almost at the next Energy Ball. You get there before the Thunderbolt, but throw it. Perfect timing there to throw the Energy Ball right before the Thunderbolt.
All right, so we have Wadaj.
The first Protect Shield of the game.
Yeah, we do get a shield here. This is information that Wadaj will probably be able to take advantage of here too, knowing that this Lantern might, this Jumpluff might be pretty strong, but no, it's going to let this Thunderbolt go through. Is it enough to knock out? No,
Jumpluff's
it's not.
bulky.
Jumpluff is very bulky. Can it get to
It'll get to the Energy Ball.
Like they're going to go and
charge move priority.
Oh, but it loses CMP.
I don't even know if Wadaj actually went and threw the move here, and this is going to be huge. Is going to shield.
I think that
he's going to have to shield.
Wadaj knows that Brown Baller maybe wants to go for alignment more than Magic Mason was trying to go for it. So there it is, the second Protect Shield from Brown Baller, trying to get that spark down as he's talking to his opponent a little bit. Pivot into the Frostlass here, and then met by the Umbreon.
This is not what you want to see. Like I said, you said that perfectly, Butters. The Frostlass looked good against Magic Mason, but maybe not so good.
Yeah,
this team. Brown
Wadaj,
Lantern has so much play against both the Frostlass.
Wadaj just lost this.
Let's not forget, there's a whole Trevenant in the back too.
The key difference though is there is a Protect Shield advantage for Wadaj. So if you do get up energy against that Trevenant,
he looked right at the camera, like he's like,
as the foul play comes through on
shut up, I know.
It does so much damage, but you can't really snarl it down at this point unless this Avalanche is not going to be enough. This is going to be close. What do you do as Brown Baller? Do you try to go for the big snarl down? I don't think you can get there. I think you'll have to commit energy here.
Yeah, I think Brown Baller might be content with just taking out this Frost as soon as possible, though, because it just makes the backline matchup easier. You only have a
okay, so let's see. Jumpluff's super low. Frostlass is dead. Azu's gonna have to carry this. He just
instantly entering
last
the
resort,
trying to maintain that switch timer, not have it be back up yet, so Brown Baller cannot pivot, throwing that last resort. And the key factor here is that Lantern. And there it is, the Lantern's coming in already, and it's healthy enough. You have to throw the play rough. There it is, you threw the play rough. This is gonna knock out the Lantern, but now this Azumarill is in range of getting knocked out by 2 Seed Bombs, and it's energy dry.
Yeah, it's energy dry here too, and this Trevenant can tank an Ice Beam here. Wadaj's only win condition is to catch some energy on the
oh, yeah, he just...
It's gonna Shadow Claw down. Brown Baller's had such advantageous position at the moment here, having even more energy after Shadow Calling down the jump bluff.
And he will survive this one, barely endures, and you can throw the Ice Beam back, but the Trevenant is just too healthy here. Ice Beam is super effective, it does a lot of damage, but Trevenant is going to be able to endure.
All right, Brown Baller going to take game 1.
Healthy. The Shadow Claws can almost do it.
Yeah, and you see Brown Baller charging up to 2 C-bombs here, and is going to throw the first one. Wadaj just letting it go, conceding, knowing that this game, unfortunately, is not winnable. Brown Baller with the quick 1-0 early advantage.
Wow, I mean, the Lantern going down double shields from the very start, trying to just hard get that alignment. And there's 2 newcomers to this meta that we've seen succeed here in Toronto since this move update, and it is Umbreon and Lantern. And how about them as a core?
Yeah, I know you've been loving, well, you've always loved electric types, but
yeah,
now you're loving the Umbreon too.
Yeah, because
first win for the good guys.
The Lantern actually protects this Umbreon, and the Umbreon protects the Lantern.
Not saying Wadaj is a bad guy. He's just not my favorite right now in this tournament.
Wadaj does have that jump up, but the key factor is your Lantern protects you from Umbreon's biggest weakness, which is that fairy, and in this case, the
Let's
Azumarill.
see.
And
So
Lantern does so well against the Azumarill, even at that low health.
Lantern's got some decent play on
so that was energy drive
against Wadaj.
Yeah, exactly right here too, and I think this is an interesting
Seed.
point. Is jump bluff just not viable?
Noctowl
I feel like Wadaj every time is forced to bring the jump
doesn't
bluff
really have a lot
to
of
that Lantern, to that Trevenant, but the
targets.
Jump bluff is, you're almost losing matchups to water types like Lantern because you're taking neutral damage from the Spark and Thunderbolts, and it puts you in
It's
a
like
really
Trev's looking real good.
Still doesn't do great into
Metacham's even looking pretty good.
A lot of weaknesses with the Trevenant, but still not having any significant advantage.
Yeah, it's been tough for Wadaj to position that
for
Brown
Baller.
In that situation, you thought it had the advantage versus the Lantern, but Brown Baller plays a different style than Magic Mason. He really wants to capitalize on alignments here, so we're gonna see if he can do that in this game number 2, and it's the Lantern lead once again.
Okay, great lead for Brown Baller.
Once again, Brown Baller with alignment, instant pivot into the jump bluff, met by the Galarian Stunfisk.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Again, now instead of taking neutral rock slides, you're going to take super effective rock slides on the jump bluff. So a slightly not great position, but you do have the energy balls that are really going to add up. And you see an early shield again from Brown Baller. Brown Baller loves using shields early on.
Yeah, he sets the tone, right? Even when he doesn't need the shield early on, he just does it. But I guess Energy Ball can drop your defense, right? So you maybe want to save that for later in case you do get a defense drop.
So
as
this is something that I'll have to look up.
It's not going to be enough to knock out the jump bluff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The defense
interesting. So this is something that I'm still learning is like type resistances and stuff. So against that Meganium in that earlier match,
and is going to throw yet another rock slide here.
Rock is not resisted by grass, which I forgot about, and I had double rock slides loaded, which would have taken a total of about 54% of its health.
Yeah, Brown Baller getting a lot of value out of
so the move against that was to throw the rock slides.
Extra energy, but the unfortunate part is this energy is not going to be very meaningful against the Lantern.
So grass does not resist rock. It resists ground.
And you still have to throw an Ice Beam as well.
Yeah, finally committing to energy.
But does not resist rock.
All the way down. The Galarian Stunfisk might survive. It does hang on. Can it get to one more move? Get to that rock slide? No, it can't. Gets knocked out by the bubble. Wadaj reaching for an instant pivot. It's met by the Umbreon. And once again, Brown Baller just has alignment.
This is good.
Yes, Brown Baller loving the
Wadaj has shield advantage though, but Umbreon's matching Lickitung in bulk and just is going to be able to spam out moves faster.
Competitor here, and this one loves the bulky dark type and is making it very hard for Dodge to play around.
Yeah, 2 trainers playing the same exact team, completely different ways as this body slam is going to be going through, and this Umbreon is just not even phased by any of it as he throws the foul play back. And the problem is, I mean, you have to somehow knock out that Lantern, so you need this Lickitung. And not only do you need this Lickitung, but you need to hold on to a lot of energy, and these switch timers are almost exactly aligned.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for Wadaj to catch anything here. Maybe Wadaj might make a combo play. That would be a potential option here, but it's not before this next foul play is going to come through. Does Wadaj finally spend a shield, and the first shield is going to come out? I think Brown Baller might be sniffing out a potential combo play here.
Yeah, maybe try to throw the play rough or
oh,
throw
interesting.
into a move.
Okay.
No, both the trainers just staying in, just trying to play out this matchup more. You would think, and there it is, trying to catch a move on the combo move.
Oh,
and then
nice.
It's just met by the lantern, and you're just such a tough position. You're going to throw this
So
play rough,
Wadaj
you're just going to see how
wasn't
little it
at the
does to
move.
this lantern. Obviously, this lantern cannot spark all the way down, so it's going to be up to Brown Baller to see how much energy he can gain before he knocks out the Azumarill. It looks like he's just going straight for the knockout, not messing around at all.
Yeah, I
Wow.
like this play. You know, just take it out at this point. You could definitely overfarm a little bit here, but I don't think the Power Whip is actually in range of taking this out. And even if you are, you have a whole Umbreon in the back with energy here too. This Power Whip's not enough to
And
go
Brown
down the
Baller
shield,
has a
then they'll
shield.
surf, and then the Umbreon's still loaded with energy.
And there comes the last protect shield for Brown Baller.
Yeah,
properly
this is
calling the
good. I
power
like
whip. That
this.
might
So
have
it
been
just
Wadaj's
doesn't
only
matter. He's
weakness,
gonna
and now the
shield,
surf
and
is gonna
then
be coming through. Does pick up the last protect shield from Wadaj, but
let's see.
at
I
this
think
point, I don't
Lantern
think
will outpace
the
to
Lickitung
another
can
surf.
outpace the
Oh no,
Lantern
never
to
mind.
the
I
power.
lied.
Oh no, it actually is going to get there quite early and throw it.
I forgot
onto
how
this
much energy was
Lantern,
on
and I don't
Lickitung.
think he can hold on.
No, you have a whole Umbreon in the back still with energy and with plenty of health. And here comes the
There we
Umbreon.
go.
Is going to throw the last resort here into this Lickitung, and this should be enough to knock
Game
out last resort, doing a
baller.
little more damage than foul play in the neutral situation.
And Brown Baller loves the finish games.
All
with
right, so
last
that was a best
resort
of-
as he takes the 2-0 advantage in the
2-0,
series
so
in
this is a
really
best of 5?
deflating position for Wadaj here.
And,
He really needs to
losers
bounce
finals?
back. He's now taken 5 straight losses to the same team, but the key difference is Brown Baller is playing it extremely differently than Magic Mason did, which is a great job. I
No,
think,
it is
Mark,
not bad
because
that it makes
see
you
the
happy,
previous matchup,
E110.
you know
I'm
Wadaj learns from that. You're
I'm
saying,
right there
okay,
with
I
you.
know that what Magic Mason did
I'm right there
works,
with you.
but if I do the
I
same
don't
thing that
like,
worked for him, it might not work for me, so I gotta
cockiness
play my own
in-
style. Brown Baller really wants to capitalize on alignment, and so far in games 1 and 2, he's
in
done so.
my
Brown Baller really
sports.
putting in work there, especially
there's like a
with
time and
Umbreon.
place
And
for
he is
cockiness. That was
one
that was
game
just
away
rude.
for his
And now it's
invitational
coming
to
back to
Worlds in
bite him.
Yokohama, Japan.
I don't think he's won a
Wadaj, though,
single
still
one since
fighting
he
for
did that.
cancer, needs to go on a 3-0 run in this losers finals to make it back into the grand finals and earn himself a ticket to Yokohama. Let's see if Wadaj can pull it off, or Brown Baller is going to catapult us to another mirror matchup in the grand finals.
If anyone could do it, it will be Wadaj. He's one of the best battlers in the world. And he's gonna try to
There's
show it right
a
now.
comment in
And
chat,
once again, it's a
Wadaj
negative
reconsidering
lead.
his
It's
life
normal,
right
it's
now.
normal, But you have to instantly pivot to the Azumarill. There's no answer in the back.
Yeah,
there's no answer from Brown Baller.
Yeah, there's no answer for this Azumarill, but here's the thing. If you could take out the Azumarill, you're in a really good spot.
So,
because you have a
Noctowl
Medicham,
could
which is
survive
going
a
to break
Ice
into
Beam.
Lickitung and the Glaring Stunfisk, and you have the Umbreon that also can do really well in neutral situations against a Glaring Stunfisk.
E110, you'll be hard pressed to find a more competitive person than me, but have a
It's all
little
gonna come
sportsmanship.
down to if the
Right,
Azumarill
that
can
you could
finish
be
off this knockout,
super
if you're able to
competitive
bring the Lickitung
and
into the
be a
Medicham
good
and the
sport.
Glaring Stunfisk into the Umbreon. There is play here for Wadaj, so we're going to see if that can happen as the next Sky Attack is going to be landing.
Yeah, Brown Baller is going to do as much as possible.
100%
Wadaj does
agree
not
with you there.
understand the situation he's in here. He needs to preserve this Azumarill, but unfortunately it's stuck against this bulky
I think that's
owl,
what makes
and,
the
Brown Baller
greats
doing everything
great
he can to chip this
is
down.
they
Does
can
Brown Baller spend a shield and is going to spend a shield. This is going to be crucial information from
they
Wadaj.
have
Wadaj now
the
knows,
drive and the
that
hunger to
this
win,
Azumarill
but
is
they
going to be very
always
easy for the
you know
back end.
show
Classic fashion
the
by Brown Baller.
respect.
He really wants
And
to
this is
watch
really good
Here
energy
comes the
management
protect
from
shield
Brown
on the
Baller,
Azumarill.
throwing the
problem is,
one
this knockdown
wing
just gonna
attack
start
in between the
outpacing the
bubbles,
Azumarill.
so it's like the
They're just
2-turn
trading over and over
versus
again. I think maybe with the
3-turn
2 protect shields,
move
this knockout
situation.
can win. This Azumarill is at the ice beam, tries to swap. It swaps into the Sky Attack with Dodge,
Okay.
and this is the advantage he needed.
Yeah, this is going to be a great catch, but the unfortunate part is Wadaj has now shown all 3 Pokemon. Brown Baller knows exactly
Yup.
how to play around this matchup. And here comes the Medicham. It is going
And
to
he
be
just
punching
goes
away
for-
here with the Ice Punch. And honestly, the Sky Attack was actually pretty crucial because now it brings the Glaring Stunfisk in a much
The
more
ice
easier to counter position.
punches
Yeah, absolutely.
are
You're gonna get to
neutral.
one Earthquake, but there's no chance you get to 2 of them
Yeah,
now, right?
Earthquake's not
If you throw
gonna
this Earthquake,
KO. It'll
probably
do
it's gonna get
about-
through the protect shield because
was
the
it,
thing is, Wadaj is almost out of
40%?
play rough, and this play rough in the back is going to be super effective against either the Medicham or the Umbreon. But the thing is, this Medicham is going to be able to get the counter down. but
And
throws the
Medicham
rock
wins
slide first.
CMP.
Wants to deny
Okay.
that rock slide, deny the energy, and throw the ice
Good.
punch, knock out the Galarian Stunfisk.
Yeah, so this energy being denied, I think it makes sense. I don't know if it
Was he come
super
back in with
crucial
the
either way,
Zoomeroo?
but it's still
Oh no,
puts
he's gonna
Brown Baller
take
in a
it
very
on
commanding position. Now getting energy on this Lickitung, but the problem is you have to deal with the Umbreon, and maybe the denying the energy no, does not make it a psychic, but still did a lot of damage. Look at how much counter damage that did to the Lickitung, and now you again have to deal with this Umbreon. Brown Baller's signature Pokemon this tournament.
If you can somehow get the Protect Shield down, if you can somehow get this Umbreon in range of Play Rough, you can combo move, get a bubble in, and throw a Play Rough to secure the knockout on this Umbreon.
Yeah, so Wadaj is one bubble away from Play Rough again.
Well.
Yeah, and this Umbreon still has plenty of health left and now has energy. I think
the problem is I don't think you can combo play because by the time you swap in Azu to do the combo play, you still have a second and a half of lead time. Yeah. Okay, he's got a shield. Yeah.
Will definitely pick up the Protect Shield, but the problem is you can't really finish this Azumarill off easily. You're gonna have to throw last resort into it, and then now your Protect Shield is down, and there's one Protect Shield remaining for Wadaj. Do you Protect Shield this to try to keep this Azumarill alive?
I think you might, but then the Noctow's probably gonna come in here. So
yeah, Noctow's just gonna come
exactly
in.
What's gonna happen? Noctow's coming in here. I don't think you bubble down. This
you have to throw the move.
Can you bubble down? And no, the Skydex Rage is going to take out this Azumarill. This might end Wadaj's hopes and dreams of qualifying for Yokohama at Toronto.
Yeah, and the Umbreon has energy on it. Oh no, not as much energy. So he needs to get to 3 body slams.
Keep that Azumarill alive, but this is a tough position. Going to undercharge a power whip.
Yeah, Wadaj is
kind of knows what's happening. The new Lickitung is
so I'm also not a fan of that. Like, you know you're losing, but you know, play it to the end, man. Like, you're on the main stage. You have to represent. Like, have a good attitude. Clapping, we like that. We like that. Congratulations, Brown Baller. You're going to Worlds.
Against the only team that's beaten him, and that is
played really well, buddy.
Yes,
played really well.
Congratulations to Wadaj for placing 3rd in this tournament. One of the best players in the world, in my opinion, and last season was competing in the World Championships. So we're probably going to see a lot more of him this season. It's a long season. Was on the edge this time, just kind of got stopped by the same team 2 times in a row. His only losses in this tournament was from that team as Brown Baller does advance. And here we are. We got
Grand Finals.
We got another. That's the story. Toronto. A bunch of Spice Sticks and a mirror.
Grand Finals.
Right. Performing incredibly well, making it this far in tournament is still no easy feat. Also, you know, going to Worlds last year or last season in London and trying to make it back onto that spot.
All right, so we got Mason versus Brown Baller.
We got another mirror matchup. It's gonna be the rematch too. A Brown Baller versus Magic Mason. Magic Mason coming out on top last time with a 2-0 victory. Either way, both trainers have definitely had to
G-Fish, that's where we like to see it.
Both earning a spot in Worlds
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. So they're throwing Earthquake would be the move.
Wadaj was on the winner's side. He got
energy dry. 1,
but the
2,
Brown Baller
3,
was on the winner's side,
4,
got knocked out early,
5.
like you mentioned, from Magic Mason, and had to make it all the way through the loser side. Had to take out Gordon the Flash with that aggressive playstyle with the Shadow Venusaur. Just played amazing defense to get through that, and then a clean 2-0 against Jace Fan, and then a 3-0 against Wadaj. I mean, ever since he's been down in the loser side of the bracket, he hasn't lost.
He's gone undefeated. He's gone literally 7-0. 2-0 against Gordon the Flash as well, too. Has not
balls and miscounted by 1 because when he snuck it in.
Put on quite a show, going 5-1 in the winners bracket. Magic Mason is only 3 wins away from making it. Brown Baller will have to beat Magic Mason not only in the first set, but to reset the bracket, but also has to win the reset bracket to take the top spot here. Let's see if Brown Baller can do it, because he hasn't lost in a while.
Okay.
He does have to go.
So this is where we want to see Pelipper.
Trainer to take him out in this tournament so far.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's coming from the
he has a rock slide loaded on
elimination tournament, so you have to beat Magic Mason, and that would be his first loss of the tournament.
He has a rock slide loaded on his G-Fisk still. I don't need to shield this weather ball.
Match victory, he will be the Toronto Grand Champion, and Here it is. It's the mirror. It's something we talked about a lot yesterday.
I don't need to
sure
shield this weather
how
ball
exciting
either.
Mirrors would be, like, because you think, oh, there's not much variety. You're seeing the same things on both sides. It might not be that interesting, but it's been some of the best games in Toronto. These mirrors have been amazing just because it's about execution and not alignment. And
We'll undercharge this because I want to get this farm here. So I could throw the surfs at G-Fisk.
It's just going to come down to execution.
I think you're absolutely right. I don't think
so he's going to have to shield this.
I wonder if Brown Baller took some lessons away from the losses against Magic Mason earlier and is trying to make adjustments. Because Brown Baller was definitely taking note.
We'll just go right for the Thunderbolts. I think this does a little, like half.
Brown Baller against Wadaj in the losers finals. And if I'm not mistaken, Butters, I believe this is only the second time.
I'm gonna let this go, and I'm gonna save my shields for G-Fisk.
In the grand finals, the only other one being King versus Iomero in Indianapolis in season 1 of the championship series.
And you know, technically, I think this is the only true mirror because even in that situation, there was one shadow wall.
And I could get some extra farm
so even though
here.
it was the same 6 species, there was a difference between the shadow and the normal type Pokemon. So now it's a true mirror. There is
so now his shields are down.
I mentioned this earlier. The Medicham on Magic Mason's side is running Power Up Punch, Ice Punch, and then on
and I'm
side,
gonna
Ice Punch and Psychic,
shield this, and then I'll
mirror,
be able
that's actually a
to
key factor, right? Because now Brown Baller has the advantage from his Medicham
throw
into
the
Medicham.
Rock Slide. I don't know if this KOs. It might leave him with just barely enough HP. Oh, okay. GG's. Not a lot of Pelpers after the first day. Yeah, I think everybody's bringing in the anti-flyers.
You still could win that matchup if you go down 1 shield.
Yeah, and it was really weird, right? Because we saw that Medicham protect shield the Psychic, but actually the first charge move that Medicham threw was a Power-Up Punch.
Yes.
Which is resisted, right? And you're like, why is he going for Power-Up Punch? But then
Defiant Spoon. That's such a great name.
Get your attack ramped up to
against. Okay, so this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Mud Bomb plus 1 discharge. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is this the best team?
So they should be energy dry after they throw this, and then I might throw double cycle boost.
Two best teams in this entire tournament, one of the most stacked tournaments in North America.
You know, at this point, it's dominant. We saw Brown Baller playing the mirror earlier against Magic Mason, losing, but then going 7-0 with it on the loser side of the bracket. And like you mentioned, Magic Mason going 5-1 with it. So a total record of 12-1. And then if you add the first matchup between Magic Mason and Brown Baller, it's just
we'll just go ahead and then we'll fully debuff.
Day number 2. So at this point, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the best team in Arlington because the meta always shifts, but it's the best team in Toronto for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure
he shielded. I could match shields here, and then
for the next tournament, I mean, it clearly can be good, and I think it's a lot of
Mud Bomb. I'll go into G-Fisk.
All the Pokemon on the team are super bulky. It gives you a lot of time to think. And
I could take this Mud Bomb and just farm it down.
Everything on this team is double weak to any typing from the opposing side, which means that you always will have some play.
No, absolutely.
Maybe not. Okay, crap. I'm gonna have to use a shield.
Pretty much I've never seen. We've seen Umbreon last season here or there. We've seen maybe 1 Lantern or 2 once it got that Surf available as a new move.
Okay, Noctowl.
In this situation, bringing the Umbreon and Lantern, which I think protects each other beautifully.
So I'm at 100 energy now.
Especially Umbreon, I think, has to be the standout Pokemon so far in Toronto.
Yeah, you called it for sure. It looks like we are almost ready. Let's take it to the main stage and take a look
so
at our final 2
if this is a Shadow Ball, I think it kills.
It is going to be Magic Mason.
Oh, barely live. Awesome.
Magic Mason coming in on the winner's side of the
and then after this battle, we'll get back to the regionals.
Importantly, running the Medicham with Power-Up Punch.
So we're shields down. I'm just gonna farm up a bunch on here.
Noctowl, Lantern and Umbreon. Here's that core at the very end of that team of 6.
Yeah, and I think we both talked yesterday about how we thought the Water Gun Lantern was the more superior moveset combination, but it turns out
Throw the Surf.
Spark has made its way, and
I don't want to use the higher Thunderbolt energy generation move.
Yeah, Magic Mason. I just found out word also, by the way. It might not be coincidence that these.
So let's see if they come back in with.
Because I believe these two trainers actually carpooled to the event together, and now they're both going to be going to Japan together as well. But there's only going to be one grand champion and one with that travel package as we move on to Brown Baller. It's the same team. They put it in a different order just to spice it up a little bit, but it's the Knocked Out, the Trevenant, the Lantern, Umbreon, Metacham with Ice Punch,
Awesome.
Psychic,
So A9 should be dead now. He had to go to Psyshock or Dazzling Gleam.
Interesting situation. We find both trainers. They carpool together to the event, and they'll be
awesome.
Back together. I'm sure, regardless of outcome, they'll both be very
GG's.
and happy.
All right, let's get back to our regionals.
To be alive.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great car ride home, and feeling good because they secured their invitation to the World Championships. But it's not over.
Grand finals. Magic Mason versus Brown Baller. Best of 5.
There's one key difference, the Metacham matchup, but
they are
I think the bigger difference
both.
Is
wait, they have identical teams.
Magic Mason capitalized that on an earlier series.
Oh my goodness, they have identical teams.
He only cares about execution and not alignment. We're gonna see if Brown Baller adjusts a bit to play a little bit more for the execution, because in this mirror match and the grand finals have officially begun. Knocked out into the.
Oh my God, mirror teams too.
It's not only a mirror in the lead, it's a mirror in the back. It's exactly a mirror matchup. This is what we kind of expected, but we didn't think it was going to happen this quickly. It's going to be exact mirror, and we're going to see which Pokemon wins Charge Room priority.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
As important as it may seem.
Yeah, because if you're destined to be in the mirror, but in this situation, you actually want to match up your Metacham against the opposing Umbreon. So winning switch advantage might help in this situation. So Brown Baller could be the one to protect shield and then have that matchup of Metacham into the Umbreon. But a key factor, Magic Mason does look like he won Charge Move priority.
Yeah, so I think Brown Baller actually, if Brown Baller knew the backline of Magic Mason, would actually prefer to have his Metacham match up against Magic Mason's Metacham, because Magic Mason's Metacham only has Power Punch and Ice Punch. So Brown Baller does have a slight edge, and then you could just mirror match up the Umbreon there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come to wing attack off. We're going to see which knocked out can take it. Will it be a simultaneous? Will it be a mirror? No! Brown Baller's knocked out actually comes out ahead. And
wow.
Out ahead, but can throw the sky attack. So now he has alignment, and you put a little chip damage into the Umbreon.
This is super important, though. Brown Baller needs to make the right decision. If you come in with Metacham here, it puts you in a tough spot. It looks like Magic Mason's trying to pivot out here, but I think Magic Mason might be pulling the gun a little early. Brown Baller, it brings the, is going to come in. Okay, Brown Baller makes the correct call, and now Brown Baller has the position he wants. He not only has more health on his Umbreon remaining, but now he has the superior moveset for this mirror matchup.
And Magic Mason as well.
Yeah, I did hear that they rode together to the event. That's awesome.
You can knock out the opposing Metacham with 2.
That's awesome.
See if Brown Baller does go for the bait. This is a bait into 2 Protect Shields. At Psychic Energy, does Magic Mason call it? And he protects shields. It's a bait.
Let me turn the volume back up for them.
You know, I was just thinking about this, Butters. Is it better to actually have Power Punch in this scenario? You have 2 shields.
How's that? Is that better, guys?
Because your counter damage
and gals joining
Look at the health of Brown Baller's Metacham compared to Magic Mason's.
Are both of these trainers just going to double protect shield through this? A Psychic is coming out. So this is a huge bait call once again. Does he properly call it? 50-50. He calls the Psychic this time, and you're right. Now the count.
And he got the defense drop too.
Yeah, it's Magic Mason making all the right calls here, but this is a tough matchup because Magic Mason just does not have the advantage he needs in this moveset combination. But Magic Mason needs to do something here. Might maybe swap out to Umbreon. Let's see.
The timer is up. He swapped, but it's a turn.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a Psychic bank for Brown Baller.
Yeah, so the good news for Magic Mason is he at least was able to clear the debuff from the Psychic. but unfortunately, Brown Baller just has way more health on this Umbreon. This mirror matchup, it's going to take a second, Butters, but it's definitely more in favor.
Yeah,
of
Umbreon mirror is just like a Basti mirror, just like a Toxapex mirror, like not the most entertaining.
A big break from Brown Baller there, and maybe a little bit too soon by Magic Mason on that swap, so Dinho capitalized, and this is charge move priority. This time, no, once again, seems like Magic Mason trains the attack higher than Brown Baller does.
Yeah, it looks like Umbra is going to charge from priority, but unfortunately for this matchup, it doesn't matter too much. This is really important information for Magic Mason to take note of, though, for future games here. Let's see if Magic Mason is able to make any meaningful pivots here, too. You can see Magic Mason trying to swap to that Medicham, realizing that, no, it's not going to happen, so going to throw this first last resort here and then swap out. But the problem is Brown Baller still has a lot of energy on his own Medicham.
Yeah, maybe you try to swap on a last resort and no throw. Yes, no throw. Waited for the snarl to begin its animation
so you
there can be no
barely, so maybe you pivot after this. Umbreon should live, try to,
yeah. He doesn't secure the knockout, so instant pivot by both trainers. It's going to be a charge move priority once again. It seems like every charge.
So you live the ice punch, you throw the psychic.
Is going to win the charge move priority here. Is this enough? It is not. It is not a boosted ice punch either. And here comes a hard hitting psychic. This is going to do a lot of damage in the neutral matchup. And this is exactly why most trainers run this psychic for this matchup. It's going to be a potential counter down. It looks like Magic Mason is already conceding here, trying to take notes for the next matchup. Unfortunately, it's not going. It's going to be a little too late either way. And Brown Baller is going to counter down.
Okay.
Wow, Brown Baller takes game number 1 of this grand finals here, and it was a true mirror. But the thing is, Brown Baller's knocked owl came out on
that
top
was crazy.
Magic
So
Brown
Baller has to
I thought maybe Brown Baller might go for protect shield. No protect shield, knowing that maybe
reset the bracket. So Brown Baller has to play
not only the wing attack down, but uses a sky attack onto the Umbreon.
Yeah, correct. He's got to win 6 matches.
The Noctowl getting that sky attack off was huge, and you saw that Magic Mason's Noctowl was able to win charge from priority, meaning that it's got higher attack stats, but the Noctowl on Brown Baller's end is just bulkier because that able to get that meaningful sky attack off was able to help win that match for Brown Baller. And Brown Baller, I gotta say, made the right read there, because you're right.
Yeah, these cores are
Umbreon is a good matchup for the Medicham, but Brown Baller needed to save his own Medicham for Magic
are hard
Mason
here.
so actually
you could use a Trevenant
G-Fist. And we're getting to game number 2 here. And it's
situation.
Going to be the Galarian Stumpus into a Medicham. Another great lead for Brown Baller.
It's a lot different this time. 2 completely different teams. We saw the mirror in game 1 and not a mirror in this one. In a safe swap, Umbreon to throw the foul play. It's already going to do a little bit of damage onto this Medicham. The Medicham is staying in so far, just trying to get some counter damage.
Yeah, I think Brown Baller's getting exactly the matchup he wants here, because you don't want this Trevenant locked in here. And Brown Baller's done this time and time again this weekend, fighting for switch advantage and utilizing the switch advantage to punish opponents. If Brown Baller wins switch advantage here yet again, it could be a really great swing towards him. And the thing is, I don't even know if Brown Baller really needs to shield
those counters from Medicham are adding up
without spending a single shield.
Yeah, and I think even if he could do that, I think he might give 1 protect shield just to be safe, because the problem is this Umbreon just gets a double foul play here, I think, before the next ice punch. So if 1 foul play plus the next foul play might be enough to knock out the Medicham.
Yeah, we didn't see Brown Baller's signature early shield here, but there might be a later shield here, and I think
so he gets there. Yeah, he gets there. Wow.
Oh no, it's going to be charged priority.
That was a misplay. He shouldn't have farmed over. He should have just hit it right away.
Does Magic Mason shield? No. Giving up switch advantage is going to be huge, because if you show the knockdown now, Brown Baller knows exactly what to do. It's going to be the Lantern meeting up against the knockdown very soon, but not before Ice Punch is thrown.
Yeah, interesting decision from Magic Mason to just let that Umbreon go, not even throw the foul play, not even try to get a protect shield. Maybe he
this is not looking good for Mason.
If it's going to face a Lantern, but the problem is you had to take an Ice Punch, and now you're half health, and now you're faced with a Lantern, and Magic Mason sees it. He pivots into Galarian Stumpus. It's met by the Trevenant.
Yeah, so this is not the easiest matchup for
Trevenant's got to have 3 rock slides go through, so
all those mud shots, and with shields up here, you can safely go C-bombs and whittle down this Galarian Stumpus, unless you want to go for the
and the Shadow Claws are not resisted at all, so he's gonna do more damage.
Shield call. Magic Mason making incredible shield calls early on. Does he shield? And no, he no shields.
Oh my god!
What a great play from Brown Baller, now still in the driver's seat for this game.
Yeah, now at this point, you could protect shield the next rock slide, get some kind of shadow claw down. The thing is, your energy doesn't matter.
Okay, now he just goes for seed bomb. So, okay.
Just to throw the seed bomb. It gets no protect shielded. Magic Mason knows he's in a tough position here.
So maybe Mason's just trying to like reset for game 3. He's got to farm this down, and then
protect shields remaining, and there's not that much health on this knockdown.
I mean, you can't do much against Lantern anyway. Even with 2 shields, he's gonna get sparked down by the time 2 shields are done.
It's going to be a very positive matchup for this Lantern. Lantern is not going to respect any of these charges, and it's going to use this Surf to
they
chip
both
this down
they both
and
know that
eventually
that is done.
Knocked out. Man, Brown Baller's been in the driver's seat here. You know, Butters, I know you love talking about dimensions here, and Brown Baller is playing four-dimensional chess right here around his opponents, really understanding what.
Man, I don't want to be in that car ride going home unless they're like, unless they're the homies, you know. He can pull this back. He can. He can. We got faith. Welcome in, JDGX.
Right. Yeah. Magic Mason did go 2-0 versus Brown Baller, and like you said, ever since he tasted that defeat, he's just 9-0 and just pretty dominant. And it's weird because I thought that alignment wasn't going to matter in this series. I thought it was all going to be about execution, but Brown Baller has proven me wrong because he's just going for this alignment, and when you match up the Lantern into the knockdown, you match up the Trevenant into the Galarian Stunfisk, you're at such an advantage. There's not much Magic Mason can really do in that situation. So how does Magic Mason adapt? I think he'll probably try to play as neutrally as possible, but I think Brown Baller is going to try to tend to bring hard answers to whatever he thinks Magic Mason's going to bring.
Yeah, Brown Baller doing a really great job of mixing up the team consistently here, and in every single
that's like
really
I don't know how I would play like mirror teams.
Is going to try to close it out with a 3-0 to reset the bracket. Magic Mason has to win 3 in a row to win this. It's definitely an uphill battle, but again, a terrible read, unfortunately, for Magic Mason. It's going to be a knockdown led into a Lantern.
You know, there is no response.
Okay, but this is all right though because there's no Metacham for. They have. Oh my God.
A little bit ahead on energy, at least one turn of energy. Throwing the Thunderbolt.
Okay, let's see. Mason.
Energy efficient move.
Yeah, this is going to do some meaningful chip damage, and now is going to come in with his own Umbreon. Now, this is an interesting play here because if you look at the back-end matchup, it's a mirror team just in different orders. There's a Lantern and a Knocked Out on Magic Mason's side.
So Lantern's going to have a field day if he could get energy advantage. Magic Mason's Lantern, if it could get energy advantage
we're in for a ride here,
on
it's actually really tough in the back
Brown Baller, he might be able to pull this out. So it's like the neutral matchups with the Magic Masons and Brown Baller's Umbreons, but Lantern just threw energy.
And this Umbreon is going to be your tool for alignment. So
and the Lantern in the back is going to be able to do better against like the Noctowl and Lantern of Brown Baller.
Because the thing is, Brown Baller can easily maintain switch advantage against Magic Mason and still have enough health on this. And actually, Magic Mason is going to pivot out here to this Noctowl. This is going to be really
I don't mind this.
How Brown Baller plays it out. It's going to just stock up some energy, throw this foul play, maybe lock
I don't mind this.
into Magic Mason's Noctowl.
Magic Mason
he was behind on that switch timer, throwing a little bit of chip damage, and now will he come in?
Doesn't know that there's a Noctowl on the back.
Just do some more damage. Looks like he's just going to stay
but he's going to
just to do a little bit more chip
save the
damage.
shields, okay. And then you could at least put some pressure on Lantern when it comes back in with the Shadow Balls. So he's at 100 energy, I think.
Because of this, Brown Ball can still maintain switch advantage and could get a lot of energy against the Noctowl. But the problem is, he's about to get a taste of his own medicine very soon with his own Noctowl into Lantern. Unfortunately, not able to get to that final foul play. And here comes the first Shadow Ball.
Yeah, and this does get no protect shielded.
Yep, so now you let Noctowl go down. You save both your shields for.
Magic Mason's Noctowl is almost knocked out.
Yep, you save both your shields for your Lantern.
This is huge.
Oh no, throw the Shadow Ball.
This could be the call of the match. A no protect shield on that Sky attack.
Yeah, no protect shield, but but Brown Ball has his work cut out for himself because this is a Lantern here. And let's see if Magic Mason shields his Thunderbolt.
Shield!
Huge damage if it gets no shield.
Jeez, these people are raising my blood pressure.
From Magic Mason, because now Brown Baller is in a
Now
tough
just
spot
surf. Just throw
because he
surfs,
has
fam.
The same situation that Magic Mason just had to deal with.
You don't
That's
need
the
a
best
Thunderbolt.
shield
You just
remaining
throw
for you.
surfs.
Are you going to Protect Shield again? I think this is your best Protect Shield remaining because it's going to do the most damage.
Oh, and it gets no shielding, and this
'Cause you're gonna be
charge
able to
priority, so
spark
Magic
it down.
Mason is going to throw all this energy in this matchup.
You don't need to throw your
Both shields for
energy.
This knockout. This was looking like an uphill battle for Brown Baller, but he might have the advantage he needs to squeak out the win here.
But finally, Brown Baller winning a charge move priority. Just had
Yes,
to wait
exactly,
for the
yeah.
Lantern versus Lantern here. But the thing is, once again, Magic Mason has 3 Pokemon alive. And at that health, all 3 of those Pokemon can force a charge move or force energy out of your opponent as you go for the Surf Bait, and it gets Protect Shielded.
Yeah, this is really scary too, because if you throw a Shadow Ball and gets caught, both the
So he
knockout in
lives.
the back
Okay, so
and the
good
Umbreon
shield,
resist these
good
Shadow
shield.
Balls here too. But Magic Mason opting to shield here, trying to go for another charge move against Brown Baller's Noctowl here. Noctowl got a buff. How much of a buff was it? Is it enough to overcome both a Lantern and another Noctowl and an Umbreon?
And at this point, if you swap into something else, you can force energy out of your opponent. You don't want to get knocked out here. You tried to
Yeah,
reach
this
for the
this
Umbreon
knocks
to try to
out.
resist the Shadow Ball, but it didn't work. And now Brown Baller's going to land the Shadow Ball on Magic Mason's Lantern, and there's no health left. But look at the energy on this
Okay,
Umbreon.
okay.
Nearly has 2 foul plays.
Yeah, nearly has 2 foul plays here. I don't think this Noctowl even gets to.
Let's
a
go,
Sky Attack
Mason.
before
Let's
both Foul
go.
plays are landed. You have to be able to take these foul plays. Is it going to be enough? Can he wing attack down this Umbreon, or is Magic Mason's Umbreon going to close it out? I think it's going to be quite close, but problem is there's still a Noctowl. You have the handle in the back.
And it looks like the Noctowl does hang on, and it's a swap into a Noctowl.
Nice,
trying to get
nice.
wing attack
Okay,
down and get
awesome.
Sky attacked instead.
There we go.
And now
One
Magic
snarl.
Mason's
One
Noctowl's
snarl will
gonna be
do
going
it.
down, but the thing is, Umbreon probably has enough health. He's
One snarl.
away
The
from
timer,
keeping
too.
his dream alive. 3, 2,
Wow.
1. Mason stays alive.
Takes a
Mason, my dude.
Ending the 9-0. win
Holy
streak from
crap.
Brown Baller in day 2, but still has to do
That
two
that
more
was
times to
that was
take
probably the
win
best
here
match
the
I've
Grand
seen
Finals.
in a
Brown Baller needs to win
while
one more to take
in
a
this
go for another
tournament.
best of
That
5
was
series.
that
And
was
a
absolutely
buzzer
crazy.
beater from Magic Mason to secure that victory, and what a matchup
I can't
that was.
believe
It
he
was
pulled
the
that
mirror
out.
team once again. So out of 3 games, we've had 2 mirror compositions, but this time the Noctowl and Lanterns were just misaligned
GG's.
on each other. So it was the difference there is Magic Mason was keeping all of his Pokemon healthy in the end, or with a little bit of health, right? Because the Umbreon had a little bit of health and energy, was able to
So
get that
even
double
though
foul play, and then the
it's
Noctowl
resisted,
was healthy enough to force the Sky Attack
I do
out of Brown
think
Baller. So great
he could have
adjustment from
saved.
Magic
He
Mason
could
to
have
keep
gotten
those Pokemon
energy
alive
advantage.
with a slim margin of health.
Yeah, that's
By
exactly the
just
signature
like
of
when the
these
lanterns
two
were
teams, these
paired
mirror
up,
teams,
he
is
kept
that
going
all
for
the one they have
thunderbolts,
outside that Trevenant
and
are
he
very
doesn't
bold,
need
which
to.
means you're forced to
He could
throw
have just
energy.
gone
You can't
for
really fast
like
them down in
surfs.
most
You're
situations
wasting
in
so
these
much
matchups.
energy
Spending that energy makes it much
by
harder for the
going
back-end
to
matchup here. And,
by
you know,
going for
that's
surfs
actually
or by
incredible
going for
Magic Mason, 'cause
thunderbolts.
he
You're just
led a
blowing through
knockout
energy,
into a
and
Spark
the
Lantern, which
you
is
would have
100 times out of 100 times you lose that matchup.
chipped
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
Um,
how about that no protection
and
on the Sky
shielded,
Attack
or
as well,
he
as
would
we
have
get
used the
into
shields,
game
but you would have been
number
able to
4
chip
in our
away
grand
and
finals.
spark
And
down.
look at the matchups; they're a little bit different. Both trainers are bringing Noctowl.
A surf
and
does
Medicham.
16%.
No, there is a Trevenant on Magic
to a
Mason's
Lantern in the
side,
mirror
so
match.
No Noctowl on Magic Mason's side.
Yeah, this is going to be alignment again. It's going to be very crucial here. If Brown Baller fights for it, it could spell out to be a good situation for him. But that Power Punch Medicham is going to do some work too with a shield advantage. And we are going to get the first set of charge moves here coming out. Brown Baller relying on that signature.
Oh, this is really going to be
Yeah, the problem is this is
crucial
the
for
one time Magic
Mason to get
absolutely
right
needs
proper
to play for
alignment.
because if he doesn't, there's nowhere his Trevenant can go. His Trevenant cannot match up against a Noctowl, even if it's low health, and it absolutely cannot match up against an Umbreon, because that would just spell defeat for him. You have to match up that Trevenant into the Medicham somehow.
Yeah, and this is where you see the power of Noctowl really coming in handy here, especially after the recent buff. Typically speaking, this matchup used to be fairly in favor of Umbreon, but because you're getting to energy so quickly here, you are able to get these Sky Attacks, and here comes a Sky Attack, and it's going to be thrown
Good
on
shield.
Charge and priority, and Magic Mason is going to throw up a shield.
That's a smart play by Magic Mason, knowing that maybe his Trevenant is going to be weak to an Umbreon.
Okay,
in the
so
back,
now you
he
could
has
throw
to get a good
back-to-back
matchup here, and
foul
now this foul play is
plays.
going to be really close to enough. Brown Baller actually the one giving up alignment here, and will this foul play be enough to knock out the Noctowl? It holds on, and no, now he pivots. He gave up a protection, but now he pivots into the Medicham.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this is going to be interesting now. Down a shield This is actually going to be really tough for Magic Mason. Magic Mason obviously doesn't know the backline matchup, thinking maybe the Trevenant is the main answer, or the Noctowl is the main answer to his Trevenant, but there's an Umbreon lurking in the background with the shield advantage. That's going to be
and he locked himself in.
Just going for the Ice Punches, may want to just lose this matchup here and save the shields for the Trevenant, but Trevenant has nowhere to go against a potential Umbreon.
And Brown Baller lands the Psychic and is on pace to reset the bracket here in the grand finals, because now this Ice Punch is going to be coming through. You have 2 Protect Shields remaining, but the backline matchup,
I think this is always hard for us people that are viewing this match, especially in the early game, because we're not in their position where we know all the information, but man,
as well going into Umbreon. I love this play from Brown Baller, because if you think about it, if you're Brown Baller, you're thinking, what can possibly beat my Umbreon?
Yeah, Mason just
the Medichamp's out of the way.
Oh
even
man,
the Stumpfist is not going to handle it well, and everything else is going to lose to the Umbreon with the shield advantage, and he's exactly in the driver's seat now, back again, trying to reset this bracket. This super fast.
I want to be a fly in the wall as to what they're talking about.
There's not enough health left on any of the Pokemon from Magic Mason's side.
Yeah, throwing in the 2 Protect Shields doesn't even get a single.
The masks make it hard for me to read lips.
Down at this point, there is another Seed Bomb available for Magic Mason. He decides he doesn't want to throw it, just gonna probably go back to the bracket reset. And now Umbreon from Brown Baller, probably the MVP of the tournament, is poised to close it out.
Yeah, Brown Baller is putting on a clinic here.
All right, bracket reset coming up.
Really want a chance at redemption, and he is going to get it. And then he is about to go and reset the bracket in the grand finals in these mirrored teams. Let's see if he could win 3 more.
So I think Mason's problem in that was he
is. Brown Baller just reset the grand finals.
He had locked himself into the he had switch locked himself by trying to snipe the
I feel like
by trying to snipe the Noctowl down. He locked himself in the Medicham and just completely gave up alignment.
But hey, I don't remember the last time I went 10-1 in a tournament, okay? So that's pretty good, all things considered, especially in the winner's bracket in day 2 of a stacked tournament.
He just reset the bracket with 2 Protect Shields remaining. I think he's feeling pretty good in this position, because he did finally take 1 loss in that game number 3 to Magic Mason, but like you mentioned,
we got a Hoot, a Cloyster
ever since that battle. So now
for Magic Mason. We got a
Bastodon
Bastardon plushie for Brown
Baller.
Baller.
Pick up that game number 3 there, and just with this play of being a little bit more flexible, holding
I'd bring my Umbreon plushie.
Energy and knockouts.
This is my streaming buddy.
I think Trevenant is so
I love
hard
it.
to play, especially if you're facing all this Noctowl and Umbreon.
Yeah, Trevenant is tough to play here. Magic Mason trying to find a
What about you guys, chat?
Around everything. I mean, you saw
is there a plushie that you would have as your buddy up there?
If you switch up the team and you don't have Lantern there, what is Trevenant going to do, right? There is the Medicham to match up against, but outside those 2 matchups, you're not in the best spot here. But let's see how the adjustments go around. Again, you got to expect maybe the Umbreon's going to come back around for the Brown Baller, but it's so safe, you know. Why not bring it? And you have to watch out for the Medicham, but the Medicham has to watch out for the Noctowl, and it's going to take
Mega Blaze. Oh yeah, E110.
And it looks like these trainers are getting ready for this.
I'm not a fan of how Blaziken necessarily like looks for the Hoenn 3 or for the Hoenn's starters, but Mega Blaziken is the best looking Mega of the 3. It looks so cool. Okay, great lead for Mason.
Yeah, it's going to be a great lead here. And again, swapping that trusty Umbreon, expecting that there isn't any true counters here. And that's exactly what is going to happen. Magic Mason is going to throw a Sky Attack here.
So he might Sky Attack and then dip into G-Fist.
You know, if you don't bring Medicham with the Power Punch, there is no true answer to this Umbreon. And then swap into the foul play onto the Galarian Stunfisk. This is still neutral, but that's huge to keep that Noctowl healthier. And now you can possibly double Earthquake this matchup easy.
Yeah, yeah, that's going to be interesting here.
So they have a graphical error on the screen. Magic Mason should have a W, because he was in the winners thing, and then
yeah, absolutely. And at this point, the thing is,
Brown Baller came up from the losers bracket.
So you're gonna there it is. The Protect Shield wasn't an early Protect Shield, but finally throwing up the Protect Shield. Brown Baller wants to keep that alignment here, and now is probably 2 foul plays away. I think this will probably do about half of the Galarian Stunfisk remaining health, but you definitely need to get to the next one.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Even though Magic Mason caught the foul play from the Umbreon from Brown Baller's side, because of that foul play damage, it puts Magic Mason now in a tough spot. Even if you shield this foul play, the thing is, the Umbreon can tank the Earthquake and still win switch advantage.
Yeah, I think it will survive. I think even if this Earthquake does go through,
okay, so Baller's
Protect Shield as Brown
doing 2
Baller
shields
looks
here.
Up at his opponent. He's just trying to get this alignment at all costs here. And now you're going to be near another foul play. You're almost at another Earthquake, though, and he throws the foul play right before it. No, yes, right before the Umbreon does get the foul play off.
All right, so this is going to be huge here. Magic Mason
Oh,
does
and you shield?
This is paving the way for a Galarian Stunfisk sweep here on Brown Baller's end here. This Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage. Isn't enough to take out Brown Baller's Umbreon. It doesn't even really matter. No. It's not enough to take it out.
Oh,
and
no.
Here comes
Okay.
another potential foul play. No, it's not going to happen. Let's see, Brown Baller
Yikes.
for the mud shot down. This is going to be huge if he gets it, and he gets the mud shot down.
Yikes.
What are you coming with Lantern? Lantern's going to take
Do you
so
catch
much
the
damage from
Earthquake?
these Earthquakes, and you only have Surf, but you're throwing resisted sparks.
Yeah, and this was
Oh,
charged
man.
with priority, so this guarantees that the Galarian Stunfisk is going to land that Earthquake onto the Lantern. This is super effective, does about half the damage, and charge move priority, the Earthquake is coming in return.
Oh,
it's not
man.
enough to knock out the Lantern, but at this point, it's going to be so low.
Yeah, it's going to be so low. You just go for one rock side here. Even if you catch the rock side, it's not going to be a great time here. Brown Baller needs to not overfarm here. Brown Baller throwing the rock side right on time before a catch happens.
Yeah, this is over.
Lantern, and now
I'm sorry, Mason.
It has to take out the Galarian Stunfisk, but also the Metachim's at full health, and these ice punches really add up, especially after some rock slides.
Yeah, you have no clear avenue to take out this Galarian Stunfisk, and even if you did, the Metacham can win the zero Protect Shield situation.
Yeah, because doesn't Brown Ballers have Ice Punch too? So
it will maybe come down to charge move priority, but the thing is, you have to overfarm here a little bit, get a little bit extra energy, and there's the swap into the Metacham, but this changes things. Now you secured the Shadow Ball onto the Metacham. Can you comfortably bank up some more energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Interesting.
think this is still the right play from Brown Baller because you're going to tank all the energy. I like actually catching Shadow Ball because the Shadow Ball is going to be a lot more energy intensive and it's going to throw the Ice Punch before the Sky Tech comes out. I think Magic Mason did need to come out with energy because Brown Baller was close to the rock side, so he was doing everything he could, but unfortunately, Metacham taking out Brown Baller.
So in the reset, we have Brown Baller up.
He went into a negative matchup with the Metacham into the knockdown.
Yeah, Brown Baller taking game number 1. Finally, Magic Mason was trying to go for alignment.
Man, these are
double Protect Shield just for that alignment there.
Brown Baller's playing out of his mind right now.
Galarian Stunfisk in the back, like you mentioned, and it did so much. It was able to take out the Lantern and just stay healthy enough that the Noctowl had to take a rock slide, and then it was still healthy when it got swapped out. So just a really tough position in the backline there. Is a Pokemon that I think is quite strong for both trainers. You only really threaten by the Galarian Stunfisk and the Trevenant, but the Trevenant is so scary to bring in this series.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Butters, if Brown Baller's dialed in here, I mean, even catching the Shadow Ball in the knockdown, such a small little thing there was actually a big advantage for Brown Baller because you need to throw 2 charges from the knockdown to take out the Metacham either way. Absorbing the more energy-intensive Shadow Ball
Josh.
I'm
right there with you. I'm sweating just watching these battles. I get so hyped whenever there's like just watching good plays.
Cannot say swap the Umbreon. It's in the lead, but it was a smart lead decision because even if you one lead, you can't bring an Umbreon into a power-up punch Metacham. So great adjustment into game number 2 to secure this lead, which I think you might need at this point in the series to get a grip on it.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a really tough match for Brown Baller because you're ramping up this Metacham, and even though you have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back end, Magic Mason has a Noctowl and an Umbreon to handle that too. So it's going to put Brown Baller in a tough position here.
Okay,
I would just playing the odds here, hoping that there's something else in the back that's going to be weak to the Galarian Stunfisk and the Metacham. But yeah, this
just
this is a little
keep
scary of
pumping.
a situation for Brown Baller because Magic Mason is charging up so much energy and so much damage against this Umbreon.
Oh, he's banking it.
On the foul play, so
Good
all of
good
that
catch.
energy on
Okay.
the Medicham, saving it for later,
So
and taking a
Baller's
shot
got to
very
bring in his
effective
Medicham.
on the Umbreon, but then giving up alignment, just trying to rely on execution more, but it baits out the Medicham, and now this Medicham again is going to be matched up against Umbreon.
Wow. Okay. So I thought.
So this is
might
going
have
to
been
be
able to bait
interesting
out the
because
Grand
he's
Stumpus
got
because
two
Brown Baller
power-up
wanted to save the Medicham
punches
for
on
the
Medicham
opposing
loaded.
but this is
He
exactly
could have
the
his
play
knock
Brown Baller
towel.
needs to come back into this game because there's a knockdown.
Finish
in the back,
this
and Knockdown's
off.
not going to want to see that Galarian Stumpus. So Brown Baller yet again has a positive matchup in the back.
Yeah, but the thing is that Magic Mason's Medicham has a lot of energy, and it has Power Up Punch. And if he saves both Protect Shields, because he's not going to be Protect Shielding an Ice Punch or a Psychic, if Magic Mason saves both Protect Shields for that Medicham, he is probably going to be able to just counter through that Galarian surface in the back as the foul play lands.
So he takes this. He could just let Umbreon go down.
Now the Medicham is no longer buffed from those power punches here too.
Threaten the
it still could
G-Fisk
be
with the
in Brown Ball's favor. And again, we see another swap here, bring in the Noctowl, but this is going to give
It's
the Medicham
alright.
a little bit of time to build up some energy, but is it enough? And is going to throw the
It's
Ice
alright.
Punch
You
before
don't need
getting
a
out
shield.
here. Magic Mason really just switching around here, there, back and
He'll
forth.
take
and
this. He'll
is
knock out
exactly
the
what he needs to do in
Medicham.
a
He'll
lot of
be
gear
able to
matchups.
throw
playing
the
that
Shadow
blue play style,
Balls
bringing out the Galarian Stunfisk
at
here,
Stunfisk.
has the Shadow Ball already ready and it's going to deploy it. And the thing is, I think, it gets the
That's a
Protect
huge
Shield actually.
shield.
I think that's a really good use of your shield for Brown Baller because that Shadow Ball is going to do more damage than a Power Up Punch.
It's going to do more damage than any
You
other
survived the
move
Rock
in the
Slide,
game on his
too.
side. So a really great call here. And let's see if Brown Baller shields again.
Double
again.
shields.
What a call
Awesome.
here. No, he said, you know what? I know my win con. I'm shielding all these Shadow Balls. I'm going to sweep with the Galarian Stunfisk yet again.
The problem is, it all relies on if this
Yep.
knockout
So
is in
now
range
Mason
of
knows
knockout
all
from
the
this rock
Pokemon.
slide.
He's
If
gonna
it
let
does
this
get
go
knocked
down,
out, if it
and
does
he's just
hang
gonna
on, it does hang on,
pup
but
with
actually, you might get the Mudshot down. You do get these do one
Oh, that
damage,
was
but you
bad.
still
Okay.
get the Mudshot down.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a lot of work with this Power Punch Medicham here, too. You're going to ramp up a lot of energy. Now, you're going to throw probably just Rock Size here to chip it down. The switch timers are almost up on Brown Baller's end here, too, so might be able to swap to his own Medicham to absorb someone's energy or force a switch out of clear debuff. But I think if you're Magic Mason, if that happens, you just stay in and power through. You need to ramp up this damage on Medicham. You can't swap out.
Yeah, he's
Keep
so
pumping,
low
keep
health
pumping,
now,
keep
though. He
pumping.
has the Protect Shield Rock Slides. Is this... Oh no, another Rock Slide, but there's two Rock Slides available. If he backed the backs here, can Brown Baller
Okay,
back
are
the back here? He
you
has a
gonna
Protect Shield remaining. Is he gonna try to go for the back?
Okay,
back?
good,
No,
good,
there is
good.
no Protect Shield
Okay.
remaining. So this is gonna be the Ice Punch to knock out the Galarian Stunfisk and Caleb.
I
this
think a
Medicham is
Power-Up
just
punch
poised
would have
to
killed at that
counter
range,
everything.
right? It was
Yeah, I
already
think this is
boosted.
Exactly the win condition here, too. This Medicham is going to do so much damage. Look at how much energy this Medicham has. And it's going to swap over to his own Medicham. But Magic Mason is relying on the Medicham to shielding it and clearing the way here. It was the right call, and the Power Punches are going to end up here.
Nice,
Gonna
Mason.
finish off the Umbreon.
Paging Nurse Joy, Medicham just took out 3 Pokemon with that Power Up Punch counter and Ice Punch, and Magic Mason now ties up the series 1-1. Brown Baller has had the momentum ever since the start of the last series, but now it is a fresh series.
Oh man.
Brown Baller has so much momentum, but now Magic Mason is clawing his way back in the series, and it's 1-1. It's anyone's series.
Yeah, I think
Medicham with Power Punch
that matchup there. Unfortunately, bring that Umbreon the lead
is not to be trifled with.
Clear answer to that Medicham, especially. You can't really swap to anything. If you
So
swap to your own
we
Medicham,
have
you
things
lose your
evened
only
out
reliable
here
check, and
in
even
the
then, that's not
the
best check, that
Grand Finals
Brown Ball
reset
even have
bracket.
against Magic Mason. So Magic Mason making the adjustment needed to take a game in this bracket reset. 2 more battles, 2 more wins for both trainers to win this out.
This is tough because I think the most important dynamic in this series at this point is the difference between Medichams.
I think it's
Because
the
Magic Mason wants to bring his Medicham every single
it's gonna be a
time because it's
momentum
so good
thing
against Brown
coming
Baller,
up now.
especially because he wants to rely
I think
on
game
that
2 is going to be
Umbreon, and if there's no
critical.
Medicham,
I don't
there's
think
no
you want to
real
be
answer
like the
to
nerves
that
are going to
Umbreon.
get to you
But
if you're
Brown
if you're
Baller
down
also brings that Medicham and another counter,
2-1.
It's just so hard to bring that and align it in the proper location.
The good
So
thing
I
is,
feel
like,
it's gonna be a battle
if
of
you're
who
on
can
the
put
stage at
Medicham
this
in the
point,
right
you
spots.
know that you have a
You're absolutely
ticket
right there,
to
too. I mean, I
to
don't think
Worlds,
Brown Baller
right?
needs to rely on
But
his Medicham as much.
I
Can
mean,
rely on the knockdown,
winning
the
and
counter
getting
Medicham and
the
bring other bulkier picks
the
like that
travel
Galarian Stunfisk,
package,
like that Umbreon.
that
But
is really
Magic
helpful
Mason,
because
I think the
flights
key
to
success, like you
Japan
said, is that
are
Medicham. I feel like
expensive,
most of the games he won is with that
absolutely
one against Brown
expensive, and
Baller
to have
too,
all
but
your travel like covered is worth a lot of money. That's at least, let's see, like with hotel, airfare, that's at least like $7,000, if not more, covered. And then of course you get like, you know, mad booster boxes too for winning. I know when Buckeye Fitzy and Khaleesi Fitzy came back from their regionals, I believe in Salt Lake City, they showed a picture of I think about 3 or 4 booster boxes of cards. That was crazy.
Yes, you're absolutely right there too. But honestly, Magic Mason, the Power Punch Medicham, is looking kind of good there too. Into those Umbreon and into that Galarian Stunfisk, typically speaking, well, especially the Umbreon matchup, it's not as clean as you want it to be, but ramping up all that damage is quite nice because if you don't have a Trevenant in the back-end matchup for that, everything that you bring in is going to take some type of neutral... Well, I guess besides the Medicham and the Trevenant, it's going to take a lot of damage from those counters.
And it's so scary to bring Trevenant into this, isn't it? Because there's a Knocked Out and an Umbreon that's always heavily featured. If you align those up with the Umbreon or Knocked Out,
I think it's just the waiting that is the scary thing.
If I was one of these trainers, but those are
just
calls that you need to
having to wait.
Grand Champion, because both these trainers are
well different than Sylph, where you're kind of like playing in your room. You actually like they're live. You got people talking to you in your headsets.
It's gonna come down to execution.
For me, it would throw off my thinking.
Sure, Butters. I got a question for you. If you were running this team, what Medicham would you bring?
You know, I would probably bring the Power Up Punch Medicham just because I feel like it counters the things weak to fighting just so much better. But I mean, if I was in this mirror matchup, I would bring the Psychic Medicham because it's better in this mirror matchup. It might be better.
So I think what was interesting is we saw it when Wadaj was playing. Even though their phones are connected up and they have monitors, they're still recording everything on the phones themselves.
Built their team around the Pokemon. But as you can see, both trainers are trying to prepare for this upcoming game here.
I'm actually kind of surprised that if you're on the main stage, you're having to record. I would think that they would be able to sort of take that pressure off of the contestants and just have like another hub recording so that the players don't have to remember to tap that. Because when I'm in my battles, like I have OBS Studio running and my phone plugged in, and it's just recording the whole set. I don't want to like have to take the time to stop, start, pause recordings, etc.
Because we saw in other regionals, Registeel was much more featured than it was here. If there was a Registeel on the opposing team, that would be amazing for one of these trainers.
Yeah, Registeel would be pretty good here too, but it is going to lose that head-to-head to that Galarian Stunfisk in most situations. So, interesting to see how
need a good medi. I mean, Meditites are spawning right now. Has it just been you just haven't had a whole lot of luck
is not going to do
finding a good IV one?
Look at it, right? So that could really explain why some people aren't bringing that Pelipper, because it just has such a bad matchup into that Lantern, especially taking double.
Medi is also one of those Pokemon that the level 50 XL is nice, but it does not need to be level 50 for you to start battling. I remember that I was starting to use my Medicham when it was like level 44, and it was amazing still, even under-leveled, and just every time I got the XL Candy, I just power it up that half level, and it just gets better from there. So you don't need it level 50 to start using it. Same with Sableye. You don't need a Sableye level 50 to start using it to see that it puts in work. It just gets more bulky the more power-ups you put into it. So that's a little GBL hack for those trying to build the Sableyes or the Medichams.
And now we're going to be in this decisive game 3. We are finally in a lock-in in the
All right, finally got locked in. That was a long break.
Brown Baller. It is going to be the Lantern, and what a lead for Magic Mason. The momentum has
Great
shifted.
lead.
Yeah, into this Noctowl here too. Brown Baller has to anticipate this because you know that's the worst possible matchup here. And here comes the Umbreon yet again, safe swapping it in, bring it to try to counter out. And here's the most important thing: if you stay in this matchup for Magic Mason, and you swap out later, your timer's going to be misaligned. But if you can win this matchup, you're still going to have to Galarian Stunfisk for the Noctowl. So Noctowl doesn't have a lot of places to go.
Yeah, and we saw
interesting.
Actually on a surf bait here. This is not the most energy efficient move. It is still a good move, but we saw this exact strategy from Brown Baller when Magic Mason safe swapped an Umbreon. Brown Baller threw a move.
Okay, so he's going to go into his
Umbreon. So Magic Mason did literally the same thing that Brown Baller did earlier, but besides that, Brown Baller used a Protect Shield.
Yeah, Brown Baller used a Protect Shield too. Maybe trying to take a
so
Mason's book here too, but
Mason's got energy advantage, and then we're just gonna have like the boring Umbreon versus Umbreon matchup.
Both really good into
but Mason's got shield advantage.
Has the Medicham, and Medicham, there's really no answer to Medicham on Magic Mason's team.
Yeah, huge amount of energy. I mean, last resorts are going to be coming through.
As this last resort is going to be going through, I think the biggest problem is the one you mentioned earlier. There's nowhere for Noctowl to go. Noctowl is going to be faced against either a Lantern or a Galarian Stunfisk.
Yeah, exactly. Magic Mason clear.
And then the Medicham in the back.
The only decent matchup for that Noctowl is going to put him in a huge advantage. And not
I
only
would
that, he also has a
probably
shield
prefer to
too,
have
so
Medicham
it is
on.
looking like an uphill battle
If
for
I was
Brown Baller.
Mason, I'd probably want Medicham on
and both these Umbreons are still alive.
the Lantern.
A charge move, and you can pivot again. I think Umbreon is probably the best tool to manipulate the switch timer in Open Great League.
Yeah, Umbreon is, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we see so many.
Yeah, so at this range, he doesn't need, he's going to live this, and he could just start throwing foul play, save some energy. He could probably do a couple more,
which he has energy for.
Oh, he does.
Ooh, we went back to back. Okay, good.
Priority, but Magic Mason oftentimes is winning these.
So he's gonna kill
and he does this time too,
the
play, which does knock
Ballers.
out Brown Ballers.
No, just let it.
He doesn't care. He's going for an instant pivot. He doesn't care about alignment at all. And now it's going to be the Galarian Stunfisk matchup against the
Okay,
Medicham.
so you just Earthquake here, right?
This is going to be an interesting position here because if shields are going down, this Medicham can potentially sweep the Lantern here. And you see Magic Mason saving the shields for that Lantern. I like this play a lot because Brown Baller has to land a Psychic to take out this Lantern. The Ice Punches are just resistant, not enough.
Okay, so shields are now down for Brown Baller.
This is the final shield for Brown Baller.
Okay.
It still puts him in a tough position. You still have 2 shields remaining on Magic Mason's
So
side.
he's going to have to shield one.
Brown Baller just trying to use those shields as effectively as possible, as efficiently as possible, and he's really good at doing that. Magic Mason plays a little differently.
So he's going to have to have
last
Lantern.
chances, and that Earthquake does go through. You get the full counter down.
So you wait the clock out, you go on the Lantern, you throw. Oh, great job. Okay, this is going to KO the Medicham.
This is going to be enough not only to knock out the Medicham, but waste all the Brown Baller's energy.
Yeah, and now it's just GG's. Yeah, you 2 shield down the.
You have a 2-0 shield advantage, and you're a Lantern here against a Noctowl.
All right, Mason.
This is going to be a
All right.
clean victory for Magic Mason, who is now going to be up 2-1, only 1 game away from winning this entire tournament.
Hey, he could just 2 shield Spark down.
In this game with 2 Protect Shields remaining, I believe Brown Baller is not going to try to throw a Shadow Ball, and it looks like Magic Mason just want to clean it up.
Oh, that was an animation glitch.
To take the series lead 2-1.
Yeah, Magic Mason making adjustments here in this bracket reset. Brown Baller needs to dig deep and find the spark he had earlier in day 2 to go and win 2 in a row here to prevent Magic Mason from taking the title of the Toronto champion here. But, you know, it's really anyone's game here because only need to win 2 games is not the hardest thing here, especially when you went on a 9-0 run earlier.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Good job, Mason. Man, so Mason's got the momentum going forward. That must have felt really good.
2 games in a row.
Was that 2 games in a row? And then
here, but we know Brown Baller is capable of great things. He can come back and win this series and be
this is gonna be a good
champion for Pokemon Go. But
this is already a good finals, and I like how like it sounds like they're friends and stuff. So that's always
game number 10 that they've
always
played
disheartening to
today.
have to battle your
You know,
friends
so
in a
it's
big
hard
competition
to
like that.
know exactly what
But
to bring
it's
in this.
good
I
because
mean,
like
Brown Baller, you're back
hopefully
against the wall.
you know that
You
there's all
need to
love in
win
between
out to win the
like between
competition.
you two.
Yeah, exactly. Brown Baller does, but you know, Brown Baller's been in this spot before, being in the losers bracket for a good chunk of today. Need to win out every single one of those matches.
And
to
it's not
make
like
it
Brown
to
Baller
this
like
grand
is
finals
getting
bracket
swept. I mean, he reset the
And
bracket.
let's see if he could do it again, or
And
it's going to be
he's
Magic Mason
they're
taking it
both
all. And here we go.
playing really,
We are
really
locked
well.
in and loaded, and it is going to be the Trevenant into the Umbra. This is
Oh,
exactly
no,
the advantage
Mason.
Brown Baller needs.
And taking a peek at his opponent there, and here comes the swap into the Umbreon, and it's met by the
This
Medicham
is-
here. And the key factor is I think Umbreon can
Actually,
put this
it's
in
gonna
the
be
zero protect
interesting.
shields
So,
because of the psychic on
'cause
Medicham,
he's
he
got
can
the,
win this matchup with energy ahead,
the
but I
Trev and the
fully
G-Fist
expect
to
Brown
handle
Baller to protect
the
shield
back
off outplay
line.
and keep alignment.
Yeah, you really need to, because that Lantern does not want to see the Trevenant here too. But
Yeah, so this
here's
is
the thing,
actually
Magic Mason's
not
gonna have
not
quite
that
a
bad for Mason.
advantageous position in the back end there, because that Lantern with Spark is not going to do great into Glaring Stunfisk. And if Brown Baller is forced to spend a shield here in this matchup to maintain alignment, Magic Mason will be even further ahead.
And he's going to have to shield because he's gonna get to the
so much ahead here, and one more
he could
foul
live
play
this
is gonna be
ice
coming through. It's cut off by the
punch,
ice punch. This ice
and
punch is
then
not
Mason's gonna have to
nearly
shield the
enough
foul
to
play.
knock out the Umbreon. So now Magic Mason has a chance to either go straight away for foul play or throw one more snarl to be efficient
I think
with
he
your
needs to go
move
for
timing.
last resort. No, he does go for the foul play here. This is enough to knock out. And Brown Baller is going to suspend the shield either way, because Brown Baller really wants to maintain the switch advantage here. And Brown Baller at least is able to get a counter down here.
So he could come in with Trev, farm it down.
Ice Punch loaded is going to be pretty handy here.
Yeah, it's
Use
very handy.
one
I mean,
shield.
you might even get the two. Are you going to get the two? I think you can survive this Shadow Claw, but I don't think you can survive one more.
Okay,
So this
and
Trevenant
then
is
Baller's
be
gonna
taking
come
the ice
in
punch.
with
Don't value the Trevenant at all, because
Umbreon.
it's going to match up against an Umbreon. You do get the Shadow Claw down, so no
He's
ice
gonna
punch for that
switch
Medicham.
to G-Fist,
Instantly
yep.
pivoting into the Glaring Stunfisk, getting a couple of mud shots ahead. I don't know how impactful this foul play is. Now, Magic Mason is going to get an energy advantage against that Lantern.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
maybe Brown Baller needs to tank an Earthquake and see what happens. No, is going to now swap over to the Lantern here. Now, this swapping a Lantern into a fully loaded Glaring Stunfisk, but the Lantern is going to get the Surf Fault for your first. The thing is, you could tank a Earthquake. Maybe you shield a potential Earthquake from Brown Baller just to ensure you get another Surf Off?
I think you have to. I think you want to stay in this. Yes, you absolutely have to protect shield this. You do. Magic Mason can comfortably get to the next Earthquake, but the thing is, like you mentioned, Lantern is out of range of Earthquake. It comes down to, can Brown Baller's Lantern get the 3 surfs here?
Yeah, and here comes another Surf here.
So-
I think it's actually going to be pretty close. We see another shield come up. Maybe,
Lantern's
if
in
Magic Mason tries
Earthquake
to catch a
range
Surf, That's
now.
still not great because you get snarled down by the potential Umbreon, but the switch timers are coming close here too. Now here's the thing, the mud shots did a lot of damage to his Lantern. Is this going to be able to bring down
pretty
the Lantern
certain.
before it gets another Surf Off?
Oh, nice. And he gets the mud shot down. That's so huge.
Mud shot down. This is huge for Magic Mason. Now has a
And he
lot
just
of
goes
energy
for
loaded
Earthquakes.
on this Glaring Stunfisk. These Earthquakes are going to
Yup.
start adding up.
And now Brown Baller is positioned with his Umbreon, the MVP of the
That's
tournament, to
awesome.
try to close this battle. He not only has to take out this Galarian Stunfisk, but the Trevenant as well. I mean, the Trevenant will get knocked out by 1 foul play. Can you knock out this Galarian Stunfisk with 2? I'm not sure if 2 foul plays is enough.
I don't
No,
think so.
it's
Here's
not
the
gonna
thing,
be
Trevenant
enough.
still has energy, even though it's not a great matchup for Trevenant. If you land an Earthquake here, that Trevenant
So he
could
needs an
potentially
Earthquake and a
take
Seed
out
Bomb.
The Umbreon, and here comes another Snarl here. No, is going to tank the Earthquake here too. Maybe Brown Baller's play is you need to charge with the 2 foul plays. Throw 1 at the Glaring Stunfisk, throw 1 at the Trevenant to close it out.
Yeah, and here comes the foul play. No, not yet. Trying to get the 2. And the thing is, does that Trevenant have a Seed Bomb? If the Trevenant has a Seed Bomb, I'm not even sure if this foul play is going to knock out. This is not going to knock out the Galarian Stunfisk.
Nice.
No swap, but it's a
GG's
run
Mason.
and
Let's
Magic
go!
Mason is gonna
Mason!
become your Toronto
What's up,
Fan
dude?
Champion.
What impressive
Let's go.
set from
Congratulations.
Magic Mason. They're coming back from a tough first set.
Oh,
and
man.
closing it out against Brown Baller, the only person that was able to take him out
That's
of a set
awesome.
here too. Incredible plays from not only Magic Mason, but also Brown Baller, who had to fight his way through the loser bracket.
Congratulations.
One person that beat him.
Yo,
was
let's
able to
go,
take one set off, but
Sweatpants
was not
gang.
able to finish off in the bracket reset.
And in the end, the alignment didn't matter. Magic Mason
Sweatpants
had that
gang,
matchup
let's
against
go.
Umbreon, but Say swapped his own Umbreon and got the Protect Shield, and Galarian Sunfist was able to close that battle and secure the victory for
that was a great regionals. Great regional showcase.
So congratulations to the runner up here in Toronto.
That was awesome. Chat, how do we feel about the Toronto regionals there? I thought it was great. That was awesome to watch. Had a bit of controversies. Some things that we'll definitely touch on in the podcast this week. But yeah, for sure.
With a Trevenant into an Umbreon lead, and it was able to still make that look easy.
Yeah, and the Trevenant didn't have to do anything.
So that, yeah, so Mason having to,
and that is the one weakness of the Umbreon, a little bit similar to
having to live that,
it's a really good tool for alignment.
Oh goodness, having to live at that last move and be able to throw the rock slide down, live the foul play, excuse me, and then being able to throw that down. I don't remember how much energy was on Trev.
Yeah,
so,
that's the thing with Galarian Stuff is having that
man,
quicker energy move Rockside is able to chip away.
That's great. That was absolutely great.
I love that even though we talked about how Trevenant didn't have too much play into these
So we'll see
Mason was like, I'm still going to trust the Trevenant
we'll
into the final game, and it
go and play some more sets until they have Mason come up for interview there. But I'm going to finish this set out here, and then hopefully they'll be able to have the winner's interview. But if you haven't already, if you like this stream, give it a like.
You're absolutely right, and that's the thing, right? Because Trevenant forced Brown Baller's hand. Brown Baller
and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, if you don't mind taking a moment and subscribing to us, we're posting a video later today, showcasing Dubwool, which was actually one of the first streams that I did. The video's done. Buddy Soren Rose from the Discord had edited it, and he has some cool stuff. So it's gonna kind of be a combination of Magic Mason, or wow, I'm listening in my ear. Combination of Soren and I editing these videos.
Every battle was so competitive, and every battler here today or this weekend is just so great.
We were talking about it during the cast. You faced
Let's
some
get
of the
this going
widest
here.
variety of opponents throughout this tournament. A Shadow Gliscor, Shadow Victory Bell, and Hoff's team. It was like a whole concoction of spicy Pokemon on its own.
Yes, Guzzlord and especially the Shadow Gliscor both proved to be definitely difficult for my team. Luckily, I was able to work around both of those and able to get some victories in those
Forgive
matchups.
the audio
those teams really well, but you
mouth
also
differential there. I'm still
literally
figuring
Pokemon
out why there's a
Pokemon,
delay.
A mirror team in the championship. How is your approach to that kind of situation?
It's off by like a second.
Well, I felt like Umbreon was very safe in their mirror matchup, and having Pup on my Medi seemed to be very good in that situation, but he was bringing his own Medis so much, and not having that psychic coverage also was a bad matchup for me. So I just really had to try to navigate that and really try to keep my Medi off his Medi and have on the good matchups as much as possible.
Well, we actually drew an analogy during the cast. You are very similar to your Power Up Punch Metachan. The longer the series goes on, the stronger you seem to get. What does it take for a trainer to succeed at a high level like that, especially when they lose that first game or even the first series of the grand finals?
I really just had to focus in and maintain my composure, focus on my counting and good plays. I try to really just adjust to what Brown Baller was doing and try to make some better reads, and thankfully I was able to get some more leads in that second set.
Well, your resilience was on full display there. Incredible plays, and I think your team composition was also fascinating. I know a lot of trainers look up to you now that you're a regional champion. You're going to Yokohama, Japan in Worlds in 2023. What advice would you give trainers who are trying to build their own regional championship team?
Generally, I try to have two solid answers for most of the meta and even anything of the off meta. It was funny, I had two water types with Lantern and Swampert initially, and 5 minutes before that, I swapped out, but 5 minutes before the lock-in time, I swapped out Medi for Swampert as a better wall run answer, and the Ice Punch for Altaria as well. And it just felt like it worked out a lot, and Medi really did come in clutch.
Awesome, Mason. Well, I know a lot of trainers are going to be studying your performance here in Vancouver for quite some time. Do you have any closing thoughts for us? Any final words? Any shout-outs?
Hey, honestly,
that was an interesting.
I want to shout out to Brown Baller for driving me here. We rode in together, and honestly, maybe gave me a little inspiration for the team. And then shout out to all my family and friends. My sister reached out to me prior to the thing, and she told me that our mom was watching over us, watching over me. So to be able to go out there and get it for her, and then also my grandma, I have everybody up there supporting me. And I'm just glad I was able to do this for them.
That was heartfelt.
All right, everybody. A very deserving champion here. Magic Mason wins it in Vancouver. He's headed to the
Great
World
work,
Championships.
Magic Mason.
And congratulations to Brown
Great work,
Baller
Magic
as
Mason.
well. Two incredible trainers, incredible individuals. And I think that's all for us. Enjoy it, Magic Mason. You dazzled all of us today, and we are so thankful for you. Caleb and Butters, take it away.
Inspiring stuff from Magic Mason there. I mean, just an absolute gauntlet, like he mentioned, in wise words as well.
All right,
and
chat.
Congratulations to
Thank you all for watching this this watch party. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you on another stream later this week, and look out for the new video that I'm going to be dropping later today on our YouTube channel. It's recorded from last year, but Soren Rose did some interesting stuff with the edits that are completely unique, and I'm excited to keep doing going forward. So take care, everyone. Have a nice one.